Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The great Allan Pinkerton won fame as Chief of Secret Service for the Union armies during the Civil War. After that, the detective organization he headed became the scourge of outlaw gangs on the western frontier. But sometimes the Pinkertons failed to notify local peace officers of their activities, and it was this neglect which brought Pinkerton into conflict with Wyatt Earp. Their mutual enemy was the Crummy Newton gang of train robbers, and neither Earp nor Pinkerton could afford to quarrel. Not with Crummy Newton and his men riding toward Wichita.
I don't know. That's why I sent for the marshal. Well, here he comes now. Well, thanks for getting here in such a hurry, Marshal. I've seen a lot of dead men in my time, but I've never seen anything like in the back room, laying on the floor.
You men get out of here. Close that door behind you. Shotgun in the face. You know this man, Mr. Regan?
Oh, a stranger to me.
How long ago this happened?
Hasn't been more than 20 minutes. We heard the shotgun go off, and I come in here and saw what happened and sent for you.
Killer must have run out the back door. I wonder what he was doing in here. Got no gun, nothing in his pockets except these numbers here. You got any money in that safe?
Not a dime. I use a new safe in my office behind the bar. I rarely use this office except for storage.
Well, open it up. Let's take a look.
I can't do that. I mislaid the combination when I bought the new safe.
I'll try these numbers.
Money? Why, it doesn't belong to me. Why, I've got no idea how it got there.
Well, you better start getting an idea.
Mr. Earp, I swear, I know nothing about it.
Stop lying to me. Man's found killed in your place. There's money in your safe, and you're trying to tell me you know nothing about it?
That's right. No.
Should have closed your saloon and run you out of town a long time ago. I'm going to give you one more chance. You start talking and tell me the truth.
I did tell you the truth about not knowing the dead man.
Whose money is that? All right, you're closed. And if my word stands with the judge, you're going to jail.
No. Money belongs to him and Red Bascom.
And who's Red Bascom?
An acquaintance of mine. He asked me would I rent him the use of the safe for a few days. That man's Bascom's pal. I rented him the safe, and that's all I know.
You know more than that.
What?
You know you wouldn't rent that safe just to an acquaintance. Now, who's Red Bascom?
I can't tell you. He'd kill me.
All right, I think I know who he is. It's one of the names that Red Kelly uses, isn't it? Isn't he?
Yes.
Red's one of the Crummy Newton gang, isn't he? Dirtiest killers and train robbers out this way.
You want to get me killed?
No, not necessarily. But I didn't ask you to pal up with that kind of man.
Are you leaving the money here?
Yep. Red'll be back for it. If you don't tip him off. And if you do, I'm going to tell Newton you talk to me.
No. I won't tip him off, Mr. Earp. I swear.
This time I believe you, Mr. Regan. Doc Fabrique will be over to make out his coroner's report. You keep everybody out of here.
Yes.
And I don't want excuses. I want to see Marshal Earp. I'm Allan Pinkerton, and I haven't got all day.
We sent for him, Mr. Pinkerton. We had a little trouble over at the Orient Saloon. He should be here any minute.
Probably a drunken brawl. In a properly organized police department, the chief marshal lets his deputies cover the saloon. Who's your chief court official here in Wichita?
That'll be Judge Jewett, sir.
Then please tell him I'd like to see him, Alan Pinkerton. I'd like to speak to the judge and Marshal Earp at the same time.
All right, sir. Oh, this is Mr. Alan Pinkerton, the Pinkerton, Mr. Earp.
Oh, I'm very glad to know you, Mr. Pinkerton.
Why, you're so young, you can't be Wyatt Earp.
Well, we're even. I didn't think you could be Mr. Pinkerton. Just as a matter of form, may I see your credentials?
Do you need all my papers, or would a letter from the governor of Kansas be sufficient?
Well, that'll do. Won't you have a chair?
No, I haven't the time. Merely wanted to check in with you and the local judge. A courtesy call, Mr. Earp.
You after a train robber by the name of Red Kelly, alias Red Baskin?
Why, yes, that's right.
Railroad sent you, huh? Well, I'm after him, too. He just killed one of his pals down at the Orient Saloon.
Murdered? Where's the dead man?
Doc Fabrica, our coroner, is taking care of the body.
Did you see the body?
Yeah, I was pretty badly messed up by a shotgun, but I'd say he was about 35, 6 foot tall. Brown hair, brown mustache.
Poor Williams. I've been afraid of this. He was one of my men. I had him planted in the Crummy Newton gang.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's my fault. I didn't want him to risk it. I should have ordered him not to. Williams joined the Crummy Newton gang more than a year ago. He's been with them ever since. He was going to be our chief witness, and we rounded them up. He was with the gang in the Hannibal and St. Joe robbery last week.
It's a pretty brave try he made. I aim to arrest Red Bascom or Kelly or whatever name he's using tonight if I can.
No, absolutely not. My men will be here in the morning. We'll handle the case.
I'm sorry, sir.
What?
Mr. Pinkerton, the murder was committed in Wichita, and well, we kind of like to handle our own cases.
Why, that's ridiculous. You're not a detective. You're just a cowtown marshal. You must be Judge Jewett.
Yes?
I'm Alan Pinkerton.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Pinkerton?
Not well at all. One of my best men was killed here today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Young Mr. Earp here says he's going to handle the case.
Well, why not?
Well, I'm just a cowtown marshal, Your Honor.
Now, don't take it wrong, Earp. I merely suggested that you lack the experience. And, Judge, I must ask that you rule him out of the case.
Request denied.
Huh?
Emphatically. Mr. Pinkerton, you have great fame as a detective, but certainly no right to come into Wichita and dismiss our marshal.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I got an idea how I can nab Red Bascom. I guess I better be working on it. Well, Mr. Pinkerton, I'm mighty glad to be able to work with you.
And what if that boy makes a mess of it?
Mr. Pinkerton, that boy is one of the best marshals on the western frontier. He hasn't mishandled a case yet. If he blunders on this one, I'll authorize you to take over, but not before.
The old yardstick dodge, Mr. Bascom. You tie a couple of matches to the end of it. Didn't your train robbing pal Newton tell you never to shoot at a match flare in a dark room? Now, come on, get up. Go on.
You have a cigar, Mr. Pinkerton?
No, thanks, Judge. Never used them.
Mr. Pinkerton, meet Mr. Bascom.
That your man?
Yes. Well, you don't waste time, do you? Has he told you where he and Williams hid the money?
No, sir.
$40,000, Earp. It's rather important. I'll make it a whole lot easier on you if you tell me where the money is.
You find it. You're the great detective.
I'll find it. And you'll hang for murdering Williams.
Who's Williams? I never heard of him.
Why, you...
Hold it, Mr. Pinkerton. We haven't got any proof that he murdered your man. As far as the money is concerned, I know where it is.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Look, you want just him and $40,000. You want Newton and the whole gang.
My first job is to recover the hold-up loot. Is it too much to ask that Marshal Earp turn over the $40,000?
I think that request is quite in order, Wyatt.
All right, sir, if that's the way you want it.
But you don't agree.
No, sir, I don't. If Newton finds out that Mr. Pinkerton recovered the money, he'll never come into Wichita.
We'll get him eventually. I must insist, Judge.
All right, turn over the money, Wyatt.
Yes, sir. Paul, book Mr. Bascom on suspicion of murder. Ollie, put him in cell 2.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pinkerton, the $40,000 is in the back room of the Orient Saloon. I suppose you want to handle this yourself.
That's right, I do.
You know, I'm no great detective, Judge, but I'd still rather have Newton and his whole gang.
It's empty.
Yeah, it sure is. Makes me look kind of stupid, doesn't it?
Well, I knew you'd bungle it. Or did you?
What do you mean?
There was a small fortune. You told me you knew the hiding place and you had the combination. I'm going to have a little talk with Judge Jewett.
Yeah, you do that. Unlock it.
Questioning me is a waste of time.
Somebody took that money.
Oh, what's a trick?
No trick. You've been double-crossed, Red.
Why, the dirty Irisher. Well, nothing I can do about it.
Well, that suits me. I'm releasing you.
What?
Insufficient evidence. Go on, get out of here.
No trick.
Nope.
All right.
Paul, give him his gun and gun belt back. Ollie, tail him. I don't care what he does. Just stay out of sight and follow him.
Don't misunderstand me, Judge. I'm not accusing Earp as to the robbery hall. It may well be, as he says, that the saloon keeper could open that safe, and that he, the saloon keeper, took the money after Red Bascom's arrest.
Well, I believe Wyatt.
Ah, but do you think he acted within his authority when he released Bascom?
No, Mr. Pinkerton, I don't.
Isn't it true that a man arrested on suspicion of murder can only be released by a judge?
Yes.
Then Earp has arrogated to himself a judicial function.
I'm sure that Marshal Earp must have had some compelling reason when he turned Bascom loose.
All right, Earp. What reason?
Mr. Bascom is small fry, Mr. Pinkerton. But he'll get the money back from the man who took it. And then he'll lead us to Newton.
Stupid thinking.
Hold on now. If we assume that Bascom recovered the money, why do you believe he'd take it to Newton?
Because he's afraid of Newton. Means his life if he makes off with more than his share. I think he'll either try to take the money to Newton or he'll wait until Newton comes into town for the whacking up. But either way, I'll get Newton.
Absurd, a pipe dream. The money is gone and so is Bascom. And I stand here empty-handed because of your impudent effort to play detective.
Wyatt.
Tell Ollie to put 4 more guards on the hotel. Bascom just killed Egan, the owner of the Orient Saloon. Took the $40,000 and my deputies have him holed up in a room over at the Wichita Hotel.
Don't you owe Wyatt an apology?
Well, if this is true, and he goes to the hotel, arrests Bascom, and recovers the money...
Oh, shut up! Look, I want Newton and his whole gang. He's taken 10 times $40,000 from banks and trains. Mr. Pinkerton thinks I'm stupid. Well, I think he's an idiot.
Watch your temper, Marshal. I don't think either of you are stupid. I think you're both trying honestly to clean up the Newtons. You just differ as to method.
Now listen, this is my case. It always was. My men will be here in the morning and then we'll proceed as I say. And I wouldn't advise you to try to stop us. Good night, Judge.
Good night. Wyatt, you were on shaky ground, you know. Releasing Bascom was quite out of order.
Sir, Mr. Pinkerton thought I stole that money. I had to release Red, hoping that he'd go after it.
I've stood by you as long as I can, Wyatt.
Sir?
You mustn't have any more trouble with Pinkerton. He carries a special appointment from the governor. He can walk into any federal court and accuse you of obstructing justice.
Even when he's wrong?
Right or wrong, you keep out of his way. He's too big for us, Wyatt. I can't save you again. Good night, Wyatt.
Good night, Judge.
Ollie's got the hotel covered, Wyatt. Wants to know what to do if Bascom makes a run for it.
Follow him.
Loading the punchline special, huh? You expecting to do some long-range shooting tomorrow?
I don't know what I'm expecting.
I overheard Mr. Pinkerton say that his men would be here in the morning.
Yep.
You going to turn the case over to them?
No. But I think Bascom will stay holed up. I think Pinkerton will try and go in after him in the morning. If he does, there'll be a fight. The man I release from jail will kill a Pinkerton or two, and I'll be blamed for it. And I won't be marshal anymore. But there are more important things than being a marshal.
Good morning, Al.
Morning, boss.
Crummy Newton rob any more trains?
No, but we got a report last night that he's headed this way.
We'll take care of him later. Red Bascom's holed up in there with the money.
Hey, great work, boss. Mr. Pinkerton's cornered Red. Where's Charlie Williams?
Dead. Killed right here in town.
Bascom?
Yeah.
We'll even up for Charlie. George, you and Mike take the back. Brick and I'll take the front. Boss, you stay out of this.
I'm not staying out of it.
You got a warrant to search this hotel?
I don't need a warrant.
Well, I say you do.
Earp, you're still stupid.
Look, Mr. Pinkerton, will you give me a chance to work this out my own way?
Now you're obstructing justice and defending a murderer and a thief.
Get out of our way.
Hold it. I warned you, Wyatt.
They haven't got a search warrant.
I don't need a warrant. I'm after a murderer. And I think Earp should turn in his star.
He will. There's your search warrant, Mr. Pinkerton. I'm sorry, Wyatt.
Well, at last, we got rid of the local genius, Mr. Earp.
Mr. Pinkerton, he got away. He rode off just as we got around his back.
Which way was he headed?
Straight out of town on the West Road.
Let's go get him, boys.
They'll get him.
Sure. If Newton doesn't ambush him.
Wyatt, where are you going?
I think they'll need a little help.
Well, he ought to be here
I was
pretty
ready
quick.
to-
I
Still think he'll be here soon.
Been around here for 3 days.
Here he comes now. We were talking about you.
The Pinkertons are right behind him. We haven't even got time to make a run for it.
We'll have to bushwhack him. Hide the horses, men. Never mind the fires. Hurry up, get them on
Come
outside.
on, get him on the cover over there. All right, everybody stay down now. Wait till I get all the way in.
Hurry up, get them outside.
Come on, get him out of there.
looks like a bushwhack. Shouldn't we fire a few times to warn the Pinkertons?
No. I want Newton.
The Pinkertons will ride right into that ambush.
It's none of my business. Pinkerton made me a private citizen. Here they come.
Hold it. Is there fire? Morning, Pinkerton. You after me?
Stop it. We haven't a chance.
You'll pay for that, mister. The great Pinkerton riding into a bushwhack, just like any greenhorn from New York.
I'm the one you want, not my men.
Oh, there's plenty of time for the killing. Get off your horse. You're hoping I'll make it quick and easy, with a bullet through your head. Back away. I like the looks of you with your hands up, knowing you're gonna get a bullet in your belly.
Take a shot at me, Newton.
You killed him.
No, just creased his skull.
Well, maybe you'd better crease my skull.
Isn't worth going to jail for, Mr. Pinkerton. You can take Newton and his boys back to town.
You won't have any more trouble with Red Bascom, Wyatt.
Is he dead? Bascom brought the money into camp. He's probably hidden over there in the brush someplace.
Al, see if you can find the money bag over in the brush. Let's get the cuffs on these men, put the wounded on the horses. Let's get back to town.
All right, boys, let's look for the money.
Hey, Wyatt, why let Pinkerton take all the credit? We're the ones that saved his life, and we're the ones that did grab that Newton gang.
What are you after, Ollie? Place in history? Most of that stuff's just written from hearsay by men that are too lazy to dig up the real facts. And so, Pinkerton's a big hero, and I'm a skunk. Who's going to know the difference 100 years from now?
Wyatt, why don't you wait until Mayor Hope and Mr. Murdoch get back from Kansas City? Or let me go to the judge and tell him the truth.
Never draw against the drop, Ollie.
Hello, Wyatt. Ollie. Wyatt, Mr. Pinkerton told me just what happened on the trail today.
Yes, I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't blame you for being sore, but it seems to me when Mr. Pinkerton wants to make amends, you should be big enough to accept his offer.
Herb, I'd like to hire you for my organization at twice what you're getting here.
Of course, I'd beg you to take your star back, but we can't afford to double your salary.
$500 a month and expenses.
Well, I don't want your job, Mr. Pinkerton. First place, I wouldn't work for you.
Then take back your star, with my apologies.
On one condition.
Yes?
Mr. Pinkerton, my deputies feel that they lost out on some glory. I want you to mention their names in your report on this case.
And yours, too.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Pinkerton, I've done a few smart things and been cussed. I've made a lot of stupid mistakes and been praised, so I just as soon you wouldn't mention my name at all.
Well, if that's the way you want it.
That's the way I want it.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
outlaw Kansas of 1875, there was one subject more deadly than the raids of outlaws or the gunfights between cowhands. Should women be allowed to vote? Yes, we smile now, but this was a controversy which erupted in violence along the frontier. And when the women's suffrage movement hit Wichita like a tornado, Marshal Wyatt Earp found himself caught between the two warring factions, with his life and his job at stake.
I want to tear that sign down.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, break it up.
We're both under arrest.
What are you arresting me for, Marshal?
Takes two to make a fight, Mr. Donovan.
Well, we don't want no suffragettes from Wyoming telling us folks in Kansas what to do.
I'm from Wyoming. We gave him a vote 5 years ago, and it ain't done no harm. I take him to jail. I got it.
And the rest of you break it up.
My boss's wife is a suffragette.
Well, she ain't right bright.
You calling? That told you to break it up. Now hold it.
He says he's going to roust that lady speaker as soon as she leaves the depot.
Thanks. I better go on down there.
Well, I told you to hold it, and you walk with me until you cool off.
Well, there ought to be a law against these...
Bring it up in the next Congress.
I'm ashamed to say this, Miss Laramie, but you're invading enemy country.
Oh, that's not unusual for me, Mr. Murdoch. Why, I've even had eggs thrown at me several times.
We have rough ways in Wichita.
Rough? Why, you publish the best paper west of Kansas City.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that darling wife of yours. I know it was brave of her to invite me to speak, but there won't be any trouble, I'm sure.
Well, this is my office, Miss Laramie.
Sorry, Mr. Murdoch, it's as far as she goes.
Jim, what is this?
We're not going to hurt Miss Laramie. Just make sure she gets back on the next train.
You men must be drunk or crazy.
Oh! All right, don't try anything. Get off your horses.
Nice timing, Wyatt.
That poor man, you killed him.
No. He's just groggy. This is Mr. Earp, our town marshal. In all the gunfights and melees he's had to go through, he's never once seriously hurt or killed a man.
Ollie, you and Paul take him on over to jail. I better go on over to the hotel with you.
Yes, I think you have.
No. You take my things on over to the hotel, Mr. Murdoch. I'm going to the jail.
Jail?
Why, yes. I have to help those poor cowhands. And I want to talk to you, Mr. Earp.
Oh? Miss Laramie is our guest, Wyatt. She has the freedom of the town. I'll bring Mrs. Murdoch over to the hotel later.
Thank you. Jails don't shock me. And please don't offer me your arm. And I can't quite follow your reasoning, Mr. Earp. Those men are simply misguided. Why keep them in jail?
Attempted abduction, wearing guns within the city limits.
Well, won't you let me sign bond for them?
That's up to the judge. Now, won't you please sit down? Look, Miss Laramie, woman suffrage is a political controversy. It's not my job to take sides. I'm hired to keep order.
Oh, a wishy-washy neutral.
No, I'm a peace officer. I stop fights and try to prevent cowhands from interfering with you. Now, as to this meeting of yours tonight.
Yes?
May start a riot. I think you ought to change the place of the meeting and hold it on the other side of town.
Oh, that's nonsense. Wichita is a civilized town.
Wyatt! Wyatt, there's a big free-for-all down at Keno Corner. You better hurry.
Guns?
No, just fist-fighting, Ollie says, but it could turn into a gunfight.
Yeah. Well, as you say, Miss Laramie, Wichita is a civilized town. I'll see you later.
Come on now, cut it out. Cut it with you guys.
Break it up! And the next time I catch any of you fighting like this, you're going to spend 5 days in jail. Now go on, break it up. Go on.
You favor votes for women?
Not at the moment. How do you stand, Wyatt?
I'm lucky I'm standing at all. Some one person started that uproar out there.
Yes, I think Senator Mike Teague has passed the word.
Teague, when did he get back?
Last night. I begged my wife not to hold that meeting downtown.
Is the senator feeling that much against voting for women?
If women had the vote in Kansas, Mike wouldn't last long as a politician. Crusty, middle-aged bachelor.
Yeah, his boys could start a riot.
Sure. I told Mrs. Murdoch. You know what her reply was? She said we hire men to keep order.
If anything happens at the music hall, it'll be your fault.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you speak to Miss Laramie about moving the rally?
I did. No luck. Now I'll go have a talk with the other side of the argument, Mike Teague. Hey, cheer up. What do you got to be so sad about?
I have to write an editorial on women's suffrage.
I thought being Marshal of Wichita was tough. Good luck.
And I think I may honestly say, I have too much respect for the ladies, may heaven always bless them, to have their pure natures trapped in the pit of politics.
Amen, Senator. You know, I read in the Kansas City Star that the strain of voting would be bad for their health. Now, what do you think of that, Senator?
A very important point. Who'd want his mother, his sister, or his wife jostling among men for a place at the polls on election day? We put our women on a pedestal. Why, gentlemen, if we force them to vote, they'll be running for office next.
Impossible, sir.
No, sir, not impossible. And what would happen to the law with women on juries and women judges? Oh, and speaking of the law, here's my good friend Marshal Earp. Excuse me, gentlemen. Well, Wyatt, how are you?
Well, I'm in good health, Senator, but there seems to be an epidemic of broken heads around.
Oh, you mean this suffragette business? A nasty bad thing.
Well, I'd kind of like to talk to you about it.
Well, certainly. Shall we rest ourselves, Wyatt?
Why don't we go in the back room?
Of course. Good idea. Oh. Give all the boys a drink. On the Senator.
Now, look, it's my job to head off any more trouble before it gets started. And the Douglas Avenue crowd would listen to you, Senator. It'd be a big help if you asked the boys to cool off. What do you say?
Wyatt, you've made a great record here. I'm proud of what you've done for Wichita.
But you won't call off the rough stuff, huh?
Oh, let's not put it that way.
Well, how would you put it?
I think she's after starting a riot so she can be a martyr. That's the way they put it over in Wyoming. Oh, you're one of the Lord's innocents when it comes to politics, Wyatt. The Laramie woman is a female John Brown. This is a police matter involving the public safety. I think you should close the music hall.
What good would that do? They just hold their meeting out in the street.
Then arrest the woman and escort her to the first train.
Are you that afraid of it?
What?
Look, the females have been voting in Wyoming for several years. They got one of the best territorial governments I know about.
Miss Laramie has made a quick convert.
No, sir. But I've made a quick discovery. It isn't just political conscience that bothers you. You're afraid of women. And the way they may vote. You've been waiting here all this time?
Yes. Your men brought in a dozen more cowhands. Some of them have been brutally treated.
Well, we didn't do it. They got bruised up fighting among themselves.
Well, I must take your word for that. I don't suppose you'll release them without fines.
It's up to the judge.
Here's $500. Can I post this? If it comes tomorrow, you could let me know at the hotel.
All right. You want me to let the newspaper know about it?
It might help our cause.
Mm-hmm. I just had a talk with Senator Teague.
Oh, him.
Well, you know the senator.
By reputation. He's one of our worst enemies in Kansas.
I also had a talk with Mr. Murdoch. We both think that you ought to hold tonight's meeting on the other side of town.
No.
All right, then maybe I can put on enough special deputies to protect you.
I don't want police protection.
That's for me to decide, not you.
Oh, I found you out at last, Marshal Earp. You're against us.
Wait a minute, Miss Laramie. All the women I know believe in equal rights.
Indeed.
But they realize it's going to be a long fight. Now, you think you had a real tussle in Wyoming. Well, the men outnumber the women 8-1 there. The politicians gave you that vote.
Oh, no, we won it.
Only because the men figured that your vote wouldn't amount to anything. Soon there'll be as many women as there are men in Kansas. It's a different deal here. If you don't stop behaving like a fool, you're going to set your cause back years and years.
And how should I behave?
Like a woman. Ollie, in a half hour, I want you and Paul to go on over to the music hall. Watch that front door. Frisk every man for guns, rocks, and rotten eggs. I'll have the special deputies inside and on the back door. They'll all be carrying guns inside their coat.
Oh, hi, Mr. Murdoch.
Ollie.
Got to talk to you, Wayne.
Look, the special deputies will be here any minute. Why don't you go outside and meet them?
Okay.
Right. Any trouble starts, I want you to know who they are.
Right. Yes, sir.
You don't look too happy. What's wrong?
That Laramie woman. She's talked the mayor into calling off your plans. What? They were ashamed to hand you this. I do all the dirty work. No police protection, just 2 officers outside the music hall.
Well, Jim Hope's the boss.
I'm sorry, Wyatt. They'll all be sorry long before that meeting's over.
Yeah. It'll be too late. Maybe I could say I never got this order.
Whoa, now, Wyatt.
Worst thing I can do is fire me.
Well, we could both be wrong. What if nothing happens at all? We can't afford to rile up the mayor.
Well, maybe you're right. I'm gonna still keep my deputies close by. Any trouble starts so we can get there in time. Maybe.
What's the matter with you?
All I said was it'd be all right for Texas women to vote.
And I say Alabama women can vote. They have as much sense as Texas women.
Don't you say nothing about Texas women.
That's right. All I got to say to you is...
Oh, so...
Get in there.
Get in.
Oh, no. Hey, just a little. Hold it, Red.
Well, here, hold it yourself.
Just a minute, Red. Hold it. Hold it. Why, you... Hold it.
Save your strength for inside.
All
Now
right.
Go on in.
All right. Ain't even having any fun.
Senator?
Just a little argument, Wyatt. No harm done.
What was that remark I heard you make about saving strength for inside?
You misunderstood me. What I said...
My hearing's right good, Senator. I asked you to keep your crowd in order. You better do it.
Are you threatening me?
You can call it anything you want. But if there is any trouble, you're going to go to jail along with the rest of them.
You're working awfully hard to lose a good job.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Joan Laramie, the Joan of Arc from Wyoming. Miss Laramie.
Please. I am not a monster. I haven't come here to put the people of Wichita in a dungeon. I have come to ask that you set free 1/2 of your own people who are now in chains. Yes, in chains. The women of Kansas are not free. No woman in this republic is free until she has the right to vote. I repeat, no woman is free until she has the right to vote.
What's the matter with you? Come on.
You may go on over to Doc for Brake's office.
Right, there's a couple of men in there who need medical attention.
I know it. I'll send some men over.
Oh, still blast you. By rights, I ought to saw your leg off.
Why, Doc? Which side you on?
Neither one. I believe in taking the votes away from everybody until they prove they got the brains that the good Lord gave a goose. Huh? Stay outside. I got enough in here already.
It's bleeding pretty bad, Doc.
Sit down and wait your turn.
Why, Doc, you know me.
Sit down and shut up. There's a man over here's got a slug in his chest. Up on the table, Sonny. Easy now.
Oh, Senator Teague?
Yes? Oh, it's Miss Laramie.
Oh, please don't try to get up. I heard you've been injured. Is it very bad?
Ah, the ministering angel.
Let me see. Oh, doctor. Doctor.
You wait your turn.
I will not.
Give me a hand, boy. Just hold his shoulder. It's a big wound. Very dangerous.
Oh, doctor, this won't do. He needs some stitches.
All right, sister. Why don't you go and find a needle and a thimble?
Doctor, I am Joan Laramie, and this is Senator Teague.
Yes, yes, I know all about it. And a fine howdy-do you both started. Before you know it, they'll be bringing Wyatt in here dead. Let the senator bleed.
I'll be all right.
Well, a bandage is better than a handkerchief. Is it true that your people started the riot?
Well, now,
Don't lie to her, Mike.
He doesn't have to lie to me. I've made friends of some of my bitterest political enemies.
I hold to my opinion.
Politics. Talk. That's all you keep doing. While I'm over here working, trying to patch these people up, fixing the voters so they can go to the polls. Hey, it's getting quiet outside. Let me see that wound. You don't need any stitches. Get out of here. Both of you. I got men out in that waiting room that need knife and bullet work. Don't tell me they missed you.
I was lucky. Senator, can you walk to jail?
You're not arresting me.
That's right. Come on.
Why,
You better come, too.
We're both under arrest?
That's right.
On what charge, might I ask?
Inciting to riot.
You're right, Wyatt. The senator just the same as admitted that his crowd started the trouble.
There's a dead man over at the Texas Hotel bar. Come on. Persecution.
Persecution. Politics. Oh, every day it's something new. Talk. Politics. How would he come now? Oh, boy. Politics,
Wally? Yes, sir. These two people will be staying with us until I talk to the judge.
You can't get away with this, Wyatt.
That's for the judge to decide.
After you're fired, my friends may hurt you.
Well, thank you for warning me, Senator. If you'd like to use my desk to write another speech, go right ahead.
No, thank you.
Keep the door locked behind me. Yes, sir.
Like some water?
Yes. Not in that. That fellow Earp deserves to be fired.
He will be.
But, Senator, you said your friends would hurt him. You didn't mean that.
I can't control my friends.
But the mayor will release us, and the judge will discharge Mr. Earp. Isn't that enough?
You started this thing.
I did nothing of the sort. I came here to make a speech.
On a bitterly controversial matter.
But your friends started the fighting.
I don't admit that.
Well, it's true. And fortunately can be proven. Sorry I tried to make friends with a hoodlum like you.
Calling names now.
I've said all I'm going to say.
Good.
This time you may have lost your temper and used bad judgment. I can't understand why you arrested Teague and Miss Laramie. You can't prove incitement to riot against either of them.
That's what they did, Judge.
I agree with Wyatt.
Did Miss Laramie incite the audience to use force?
No, sir.
Have you any witnesses that will swear that Teague ordered his crowd to break up the meeting?
No, sir.
All right. Then you'd better release them at once and apologize.
I'll apologize to Miss Laramie.
That will not satisfy Teague. And he's a state senator from this district.
I don't care who he is.
Now, Wyatt.
Look, there was a man killed tonight and a lot of others were hurt. Now, if you and the mayor want me to resign, all right, but he gets no apology.
I advise you to reconsider.
Wyatt, there's been enough trouble already.
No, let's go all the way. I quit.
Now, Wyatt, now wait a minute. Think this over. Mayor, you want to talk to you? Come on out here.
Your friends?
I know them.
You heard me turn the senator loose.
Wyatt isn't here. You men better go home.
Yell to them. Tell them to stop.
He's asking for it.
Then I will.
No, wait. You keep out of it.
6 men against 1? Is that really what you believe in?
I'm a hoodlum. Your own word.
I got him covered, Wyatt. Just give me the word and I'll blast him.
Hold it. Don't pay any attention to this star I'm wearing. I'm not the marshal anymore. I quit.
That's real good news. Hold it. One of his deputies will plug us in the back.
No, they won't. Ollie, whoever's inside there, stay out of this.
Drop it. No fight.
All right, Senator. All we wanted was to get you out of there.
He's out. The judge ordered him released. You too, Miss Laramie.
Just like I said, Wyatt. Come on, boys.
He saved your life.
Maybe.
You aren't really going to quit, are you, Mr. Earp?
It's already done. The judge asked me to apologize to you, so I apologize.
Is that why you want to quit?
No, I arrested Teague and the judge wouldn't back me up.
But you were wrong, you know.
I was wrong about the man being killed?
Yes, the senator was trying to stop his men. I was wrong tonight, too. And just as stubborn about it as you are.
Oh?
I'm going to hold another meeting, but away from downtown. I'm sure Senator Teague won't object at all. Mr. Earp, you're a brave man and a good officer. Won't you change your mind and...
Wyatt, there's trouble at Doc Verbeek's office. Some of the cowhands that got hurt are threatening to start the fight all over again.
Tell Doc I'll be right down.
All right.
I'll see you at the next meeting. And you know, I really do favor votes for women.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The greatest factor in Wyatt Earp's career as a Western Marshal was his intelligence. He could shoot quick, but he could think faster. Earp was a rough and ready psychologist who studied his adversaries while other frontier marshals had no idea but to shoot them down. Unfortunately, the gunfighters, cowboys, and outlaws of Wichita in 1875 seldom appreciated Marshal Earp's intellectual methods. And his friends warned him that it was much safer to shoot first and think afterwards. In the case of young Turner Ashby, it looked as if they were right.
Hold on there, Farrell. We're supposed to
supposed to be partners, aren't we?
Yes.
Then where's that money you won on that cold deck job?
What do you mean?
Young Turner Ashby. You dealt him out of at least $300-400.
My own personal gain. I banked it. I pocket the money.
Oh, no, you don't. We split 50-50 on the whole take.
That's what you think.
That's what I say. Come across, Farrell.
Sure. Come across, Farrell. But not to your partner there. I'm the one you cheated. This will cover what I lost. If it's more than enough, I'll mail you the difference.
That settles our argument.
But it doesn't settle the way you've been cheating me.
You out there, come on, open that door, somebody. What is it? What happened in there? Better go in there and find out.
What happened? Ashby just shot Farrell Gillum. Get Marshal Earp. Farrell Gillum, my partner's been shot.
I know, Gus told us.
Right in here, Marshal. Clear case of murder, Wyatt. Turner Ashby held us up, and before Gillum could reach a gun, he was shot in the back.
Sure it was Turner Ashby?
I'm sure it was. He lost some money to Gillum and came here to get it back. Then he jumped on a horse and beat it out of town. You want to catch him, you better be quick about it before he reaches that wild bushwhacker country.
He was shot in the back, all right. It's an odd-looking wound.
How's that?
We'd better talk about it in the office, Wyatt. The inquest will be held tomorrow, gentlemen.
I'll have somebody pick him up. Keep everybody out of here.
Now, you see why I didn't want to talk about it over at Denver Jones's office?
It sure is a mighty odd-looking wound. Bullet must have entered the flesh sideways.
Yep, sideways. Did you ever notice anything like that before, Wyatt?
No, but I heard about it. Ashby must have been using an old gun with a worn-out barrel. See, if the grooves in the barrel are rusted or worn smooth, it tips the bullet off center, makes it wobble, instead of traveling nose first.
That's it. The case is solved.
It is.
Uh-huh. Now all you have to do is catch Ashby and test fire his gun.
Thanks. Catching Ashby is just a minor problem, huh?
What's so tough about that, Wyatt?
I heard Jones say he'd gone to the bushwhacker country. Last time I went into that mess of rocks and brush, it was after Bill Thompson.
Well, now, you caught him, didn't you?
No. His brother Ben caught him for me. If it hadn't worked out that way, I might still be chasing Bill.
Say, you do look worried, Wyatt.
Well, I knew the Thompsons, but I don't know Ashby. The trouble about hunting a man that you don't know is that you might be dead before you get acquainted. Well, he had a pretty good head start on me. I better be going.
Why don't you come back dead? I got enough troubles as it is.
Did you get that information on Turner Ashby?
Yeah, Wyatt. This is about all I could get. He's about 29 years of age, owns a small cow farm on the edge of Bushwhacker. He says he's lived in that section all his life. He's pretty hot-tempered and he's right-handed with guns.
That's all, huh?
Yep.
Well, I got a telegram from the colonel over at Fort Dodge. Said he was sending my Indian friend, Mr. Cousin, to help me. I'm to meet him at the North Trace going into Bushwhacker come sunup.
Mr. Cousin, you mean just you and the Indian?
That's right.
Well, aren't you going to take any of us deputies along?
No. Take along the bunt line, though. Well, you just stay here in Wichita and keep everything nice and quiet. The only reason I'm taking along Mr. Cousin is because he's the best tracker that I know of.
Well, Wyatt, why don't you take me along? That's pretty bad country. You could get ambushed. Ashby's already shot one man in the back.
Your wife wants you to stay alive.
Well, how are you going to get word to us if you need help?
Well, Mr. Cousin will send up a smoke signal. Come on, give me a hand, will you?
Right.
I'll be honest with you, Ollie. The only reason I'm going in after Ashby is because it's just too dull and tame here in Wichita.
The bushwhacker country is lonely and silent as a tune. It's an evil place for a man to face, and many have met their doom. Oh, For the bushwhacker country is deadly as a
Morning, Mr. Cousin.
I tell myself, he will say something like that.
Who tied you up?
Mr. Turner Ashby. He said, make sure to tell you his name.
He also tell you that he was wanted for murder?
He did not do it, he say.
How do you know you were to meet me here?
He knows you have Indian friends. He had gun on me. Quick.
Wonder why I didn't kill you.
He's kind man.
Kind. Shot a man in the back.
Well, then, he kind to me only.
How much of a head start has he got on us?
Oh, couple hour. He take all white cap trail.
Let's get one thing straight, Mr. Cousin. Ashby's wanted for murder. He won't be kind a second time. Now, come on, let's get him.
Whatever you say, always true, Mr. Earp.
Your feet are asleep. Come on.
The bushwhacker country is bad land, a law unto its own, where the gunman rides and the outlaw hides among its caves of stone. For the bushwhacker country is law unto its own. Those men who tried its riddle to crack were brave and fearless men, but each one died with a bullet in his back and never was seen again. For the bushwhacker country is deadly as a
Horse lame. Very lame.
Bad enough to stop him?
I think so.
Where's he have to hold up?
Cave. Near Hill Street.
All right. Let's circle around those trees and rocks.
His horse.
Probably in the cave.
Ashby! Come on out of there, Ashby.
Go away, Earp. I don't want to hurt you.
You come on out here and try it.
You come in and get me.
I'm not that stupid. I can wait out here as long as you can wait in there. Why waste time?
I got plenty of time.
Is that the only entrance to the cave?
Just that opening.
You sure?
Only one opening, Mr. Earp.
Ashby, I want to talk to you about that killing. Ashby! It's too great a range even for the bunt line. At least he knows we mean business.
I'm big fool.
That's my fault, Mr. Cousin.
But I see only one opening.
I did worse. I underestimated Ashby. Should have known he wouldn't go in there without having another way out.
That bad man, he steal my horse.
We'll get him. Come on, get up here with me. Come on. Hold on.
stopped to help Doggy out of water hole. Think about this man. First, he's kind to me. He does not shoot me. Then he steals my horse. Now he's kind to Doggy.
Well, never mind about that. Ashby's headed towards his home place. Can't run forever. Come on. Come on.
My horse!
Come on, get off. Ashby still might be there. You circle around back. I'll give you time to get there.
Ashby ride his own horse into brush.
Leaving me a note.
Nice letter.
Listen. Wyatt Earp, dear sir. You and your Indian friend go back to Wichita. I have plenty of good food, cartridges. If you stay in bushwhack, I'll have to kill you. Turner Ashby. Kind and thoughtful of him, huh?
And give me back my horse.
Sure. He shot at you, too.
Bullet go high, though.
Now go on, finish it. You think I'll let Turner go, huh?
He let us go, Mr. Earp. He could kill us 3, 4 times. From cave, from rock, from brush, from this house.
Just wanted to let us get farther into bushwhacking.
Maybe.
You can stay here if you want. I'm going to go after him.
Wait, my friend. This man know bushwhacker country more than me. You think we hunt him? We go after him, he be hunting us.
All right, then. You stay here.
Fresh dirt. Mantis Mount here.
Can't you read, Earp? I told you what had happened.
Go ahead and shoot, Ashby. Just your kind of target.
You hit?
No. I think I break leg.
You're right. Now, hold on now. It's going to hurt.
No, please. Ashby, catch us.
Got to rest. Take it easy.
Oh.
Watch. All right. shooting awful close. You reckon he missed us on purpose?
I think he wants us to live.
I wonder why.
I do not know. He's part good and part bad man. He do not kill us. But he steal my horse. Make me break leg. But next time he see us, I do not know.
Come on. You take a nap. I'll keep a lookout. Hello, Ashby.
Don't move.
If I wanted to move, I'd have shot you as you came around that boulder. That gun looks almost new.
Yeah, it is.
What'd you do with your old one?
I traded it in 3 months ago. Why are you so interested?
Well, Gillum was shot with an old gun. It was so old it tipped the bullet sideways.
I told your Indian I didn't kill him.
So why'd you run?
I held up Gillum for the money he cheated me out of. I heard Jones yelling that I shot him. Man doesn't like to hang for something he didn't do.
I'm inclined to believe you.
That's nice of you.
You could have shot us in the back, but you didn't.
What are you getting at?
Why don't you come to Wichita? I'll find the man who shot Gillum. You'll be cleared.
I don't trust you or any John Law.
All right, suit yourself. One thing you ought to think about.
Such as what?
I'm going to take my friend here to Doc Fabrique and get his leg set. Then I'll be coming back. I'll hunt you day and night until I find you.
Earp, I came here to tell you something. In Bushwhacker, I do the hunting. Come alone or bring a posse. I won't be so kind-hearted next time. Front, back, or sideways, you'll get it.
That man talked bad.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Cousin. The man's going to kill you doesn't waste a lot of time talking about it. I think I know him now.
Ashby afraid to kill?
No. Your first hunch was right. He's got a hot temper but a warm heart.
You know him, but he know you?
Well, let's hope so. Well, let's point him north. Still got to find the real killer. You sure that leg is set good and straight?
Huh? You want to take over the operation?
I promised Mr. Cousin that he wouldn't limp.
All you gotta do is find the fellow who shot Pharaoh Gillum. Leave the doctoring to me.
Let the killer stew a while. You see your watch. 4:30. Gives me till 1 a.m. to take a nap. You tell Mr. Cousin that I got a room for him over at the hotel when he wakes up.
What about my fee? It'll be $10.
Let's see how good a job you did first. Mr. Cousin limps, you're going to pay the fee. 1 scalp.
If I don't get my fee, you'll be limping.
Let's have a nightcap, boss.
Take it easy. That Ashby fellow's on his way to Texas by now.
Herb should have caught him. Our great marshal can't even arrest a crazy cow farmer.
Sure, but that's tough going down in a bushwhacker. Well, they tell me that Marshal Earp's been...
Don't make excuses for Wyatt Earp.
Sure.
You sleep upstairs tonight. Everything's locked up.
All right. Good night, boss. Don't worry about it.
Come on. Open the door, I'll break it down.
Nice old gun you got here, Mr. Jones.
Come on.
Marshal Earp, you say you can produce some exhibits in your case against the prisoner here?
That's right, Your Honor. Ollie? This first exhibit, Your Honor, is the hind quarter of beef. The second exhibit is that door, which was taken from the rear of Denver Jones's saloon. The third exhibit is this old gun, which I took from Denver Jones last night when he fired at me through that door.
Dr. Fabricius testified that Pharaoh Gillum was killed with a gun that turned the bullet sideways. Now, that door is so badly splintered that I can't tell which way the bullets were traveling.
The court's permission. Would you get down here, sir? A bullet spinning properly makes a round hole in flesh. As you can see, this one wobbled and entered sideways.
Yes, but I don't see...
That still don't prove I had the gun on the night Pharaoh was shot. I tell you, Turner Ashby killed him. If he was innocent, why did he run away? How do you answer that, Marshal Earp?
The prisoner has a good point there. Your failure to apprehend the other suspect in the case leaves the court in doubt.
Turner Ashby will come back, Your Honor.
What assurance have you of that?
Well, sir, I hunted him and he hunted me. We got to know each other. I'd appreciate having a little more time.
You've made a good point, and the prisoner's made a good point. I'd like a little time to consider this myself. This case will be resumed Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
Court's adjourned.
You were almost too late.
I hear you arrested Denver Jones. For a John Law, that was pretty smart.
For a man on the run, it's always pretty smart to stop running. I asked for a postponement. Now we won't need one. Come on.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
On the western frontier of 1875, a tragic phase of lawlessness was the range war. A range war started when two owners of large cattle outfits had a personal dispute. Then it spread to cowhand retainers of the cattle barons, with professional gunfighters hired by both sides, making the war hot and deadly. Thus, when the Wades and the Fentresses invaded Wichita, Marshal Earp had no choice. He must break up the fight or the city streets would become their battleground. and every Wichita citizen might suffer the fate of the innocent bystander.
Hold it! Break it up! Break it up! What's the matter with you fellas anyway? You know better than that. Take your gun! Come on! Come out of there! Come on! Back up there! Back up! Come on! Get there! Come on, please. Come here. Can't do that to a Wade man. What's it fight?
Stop it! Stop it!
It's what
You wait a minute! Stop it! Wait a minute! Stop it or I'll get a gun and I'll shoot every one of you!
Break it up! Break it up! Break it up! Come on. Stay out of this! I said break it up! Break it up!
Shall I take them all to jail? Any of them drunk? Well, they don't seem to be.
I want him and him and him arrested. Arrest all 6 of them. They're Wades from the Bar W. They jumped 3 of our men and it just wasn't...
Hold it! Any of them are hurt, take them back for a break. Turn the rest of them loose.
Marshal Epp, are you on the Fentress' side or on the Wades?
Who are you and where do you live?
I'm Mary Ellen Fentress. I'm staying here in town at the Wichita Hotel.
You better get inside and cool off. Let me have this. Come on. Now, you sit down and cool off.
And I suppose you'd like to know what makes me tick.
You must be Colonel Fentress's granddaughter. Lazy H outfit, hmm?
Yes, I am. And there's going to be one real sure enough fight when my grandfather gets to town.
Oh?
He's put up with old man Wade for years and years. Haven't you any sense of justice, Mr. Earp?
Well, there are always 2 sides to every argument, Miss Fentress.
Those Wades jump our range, they rustle our steers, they bribe the cattle agents so they can load first at the freight pens. Now they bought up all the rooms at the Texas house.
Colonel Wade's coming into town, huh?
Don't call him a colonel. He was only a brevet colonel and a plum coward.
Well, I never argue with ladies.
I'm sorry. I hope you'll forgive me for losing my temper. But it was 6 against 3, and, well, my blood just about boiled.
Yeah, I know.
I bet you've lost your temper a few times.
A few times, but, you know, it's one of the worst things a peace officer can do.
Peace. Can't be any now. The Wades are loading guns. They've come into town for the finish fight.
Wyatt, we're going to need some more men. The Wade boys just went into the Texas house and cleaned the gun rack.
You see?
Where are the Fentress men?
Well, Doc Fabric's patching them up.
All right, let's go down there.
Just the 2 of us, Wyatt?
That'll be plenty. We'll go in the back door.
I'll go too.
No, you stay here and start trying to act like a lady. All right, put your hands on the bar. You put yours on the table. Come on, move. Get the guns, Ollie. I give you men a break on the streets. Now you're going to go to jail.
That Fentress girl put you up to this, Earp?
Same law goes for the Fentresses. I've had enough trouble from both outfits. Now go on, get moving. Come on, move. Come on, move.
Hold it. Mary Allen said they beat up on 3 of our boys.
Now, you're Fentress men, huh? Now climb down, both of you.
Oh, sticking up for the Wades.
Then climb down. I'll fall in with the Wades. Go on, move.
Marshal Earp, are you sure you haven't made some dreadful mistake?
Mistake?
Well, it was all right to arrest those Wade cowhands, but you arrested 2 of our men, too. Mr. Brodus here doesn't think it was quite legal.
I'm John H. Brodus, attorney at law.
Howdy. Miss Fentress, your men were arrested because they were drunk and wearing guns. They also told me that you incited them to get even with the Wades.
Why, I never. All I did was tell them how the Wades beat up our boys.
Now, all of this is a little irrelevant.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yes, it is.
You know, ever since my arrival in Wichita, I've been quite concerned over your high-handed tactics, Mr. Earp. I've been retained by Miss Fentress here to see that her grandfather's employees are released immediately.
You got a writ of habeas corpus?
Not necessary, young man. All Miss Fentress need do is to tender bail money.
I've got more than $100 right here in this purse.
Now, don't bother. I intend to keep those prisoners for 24 hours. The law gives me that authority. Now, look, if the Wade and Fentress people aim to start a private war, they're not going to start it on the streets of Wichita.
But you have no proof of
And
that.
I don't waste any time on shysters, so you better get out of here.
But you dare call me a
shyster and a fool, and I told you to get out.
I'm going to see Judge Jewett.
Well, you do it. You'll find him right over at the courthouse. You know what's wrong with you? You're a girl. They've never been punched in the nose. Girls seldom are. So a few of them grow up to be spoiled brats.
You're insulting. But perhaps you're not gentleman enough to know that.
And you haven't got enough brains in your stupid little head to know what you're trying to start. A range war isn't romantic, Miss Fentress. You've seen a lot of men beaten. You want to see them killed, too?
Yes, every one of those Wades.
And where will you be? Wringing your hands in the parlor, I suppose. Sniffling about all the Fentress men that are killed. Well, you make me sick. Now, you get out of here, too.
My grandfather will shoot you.
He's got more brains than to try it. And you tell him for me, if he shows up in this town wearing a gun, he'll wind up in jail. I'll tell that to Wade, too.
What did she do to Rumple your...
Forget it. How many deputies have we got?
7, counting me.
All right, send 5 of them over to the Texas house. You tell them to arrest every Wade that shows in town wearing a gun.
Yes, sir.
I'm going over to the Wichita Hotel. I think Fentress will show up this afternoon. You and Paul join me over there later.
Right.
Oh, Grandfather, thank heaven you've come.
You having trouble, Mary Ellen?
Oh, it's that Marshal Earp. He says we can't fight the Wades. 3 of our men got beat up. Then he arrested 2 more and took them to jail. And when I got a lawyer to try and get him out, why, he said just dreadful, insulting things to me.
He did, huh?
He treated me like a poor, trashy nobody. Then he took our lawyer and just shoved him out of his office.
I reckon we'll drive straight to the calaboose, Curly. That Earp has needed a teaching for a good spell.
Hold on, by Jove!
You Colonel Fentress?
Oh, I am, sir.
Then you're under arrest, sir.
Don't you dare try to
You
take
stay
me.
out of this. She's been trying to start a free-for-all ever since this afternoon.
And you think you can stop it?
Well, if you and Colonel Wade haven't got enough sense to stop it yourself, then I'll have to do the job for you. The jail's right this way, sir.
I won't be there long.
No, you won't, Grandfather. Mr. Brodus is seeing the judge right now. And why don't you arrest Wade?
I intend to, as soon as he shows in town. It's too bad I can't arrest you, too. Now, let's get going.
Don't worry, honey. He'll pay for this.
I don't know why you acted with such severity. Colonel Wade and Colonel Fentress may be just blowing off steam.
Not this time, Judge. They told their men to fight it out.
But you don't know that.
Well, Fentress is right in there. Go ask him point blank.
Oh, hang it on, Wyatt. A man's intent doesn't constitute a breach of law. Brodus has been after me to release all the prisoners on bail.
Well, you wouldn't do that.
Why not?
A pitched battle on the streets, innocent bystanders being hurt?
It's a condition of priori criminis. You're asking me as a judge to assume that Wade and Fentress's men will actually shoot at each other.
That's right.
Brodus is a shyster, but he knows enough law to realize that you put me in an embarrassing position. Why, old man Wade isn't even in town. No matter what Fentress threatens, it takes 2 to make a quarrel. Don't you see that I'm stretching the law? Don't lose your temper, Wyatt.
Oh, I think I'm doing right well, considering there's a range war about to bust loose in this town. And you quote Latin.
Let me tell you...
Oh, wait a minute, Judge. You listen to me. If you grant those men bail or sign writs of habeas corpus, I won't honor the papers.
Indeed.
Now, you're the judge, but I'm the marshal. If Brodus gets you to sign papers, they have to be enforced. Well, I won't enforce them, and neither will my men.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Look, I took an oath to keep peace in Wichita, and that's what I aim to do.
As long as you're a marshal.
Well, sir, in order to remove me, you have to have a trial. Mayor Hope is out of town, so you can't fire me.
Wyatt, don't put...
Excuse me, Wyatt. Old man Wade just got in.
Where is he?
Sitting over the lobby of the Texas house, and he's just loaded with shooting iron. We didn't want to tackle him without you knowing about it. Looks like a gunfight.
Ah. Wade is right peaceful, isn't he? Well, maybe you better come along and find out what his priority criminous condition is for yourself.
No, no, no. If he refuses to surrender his weapons, you arrest him.
Thank you. I will.
And another thing, Earp didn't throw Fentress and his boys in jail to stop a fight. He threw them in the calaboose to protect them from my boys. I hear he's sweet on Mary Ellen Fentress. What kind of a law is that? A short-horned marshal taking sides with Fentress. I ask you,
Colonel?
now, don't get scared, son. Just keep your hands away from your guns.
Marshal Earp says you'll either have to check those weapons or be arrested.
Well, well, so that's what Earp says, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, you just tell him to come here and try and arrest me. That's what I'm waiting for. What's the matter? Didn't you hear me? I said tell...
I'm right here, Mr. Wade.
Yeah, that's just what you do, Earp. Sneak up behind a man.
I didn't want to have to kill you.
A typical sneaky Earp trick.
Come on, stand up. We'll take a little walk to jail.
I'll have a lot of my boys here around sunup. How long do you think I'll stay in jail?
Just as long as I want you. Now get your hat.
Yeah, I heard about you.
Well, I declare. It's Brevet Colonel Yellow Jack Wade. You just better stay in jail if you know what's good for you.
Let's go.
Marshal Earp, please. I was wrong. You did arrest Colonel Wade. I'd mighty well like to apologize.
All right.
Please. Can't we be friends?
Why?
Well, I just might be able to persuade Grandfather to call off the fight.
Why would you do that?
Well, in all my life, no man ever talked to me the way you did. And it started me to thinking. If you'd escort me to the lobby of the Wichita Hotel, I'd mighty well like to talk it over.
All right.
And then I got to thinking, what's all this awful fussing about? Just because Grandfather says Wade didn't support the 9th Virginia Regiment at the Battle of Malvern Hill. That was 12 years ago, Mr. Earp.
And that's what started all the trouble, huh?
Uh-huh, truly it did. See, Wade was in charge of a Carolina regiment. But he turned yellow and he ordered his wonderful men to turn back, exposing Grandfather's position. I know it was a terrible thing for Wade to do, but all the same, it just doesn't seem right that Grandfather should nurse revenge all these years, now does it?
No.
But what you said about me, that I'd weep crocodile tears in the parlor while our men and theirs were getting shot, what made me see myself as a mean, cruel person. Am I really that wicked, Mr. Earp?
Well, I don't know any saints in Wichita, Miss Fentress.
But you'd like me to prove I've changed by getting them to call off the fight.
Your character's none of my business, but... well, you might win a big star for your halo if you could put an end to this row.
But I'll need your help.
How?
Well, just getting Grandfather to call off the war wouldn't settle it. You'd have to agree to let him and his men out of jail.
And hold the Wades, hmm?
Uh-huh. That'd give us time to get out of town. Everybody'd have a chance to cool off.
All right. You and I'll have a little talk with Colonel Fentress.
And if things work out peaceable, we'll be friends?
Hmm?
Oh, that's right, fine of you, Mr. Earp. You know, you're the first man that ever told me the truth about myself.
Yeah, well, let's go find out what your grandfather has to say.
I'm sure Grandfather will listen to me.
I hope so.
Mary Ellen, what are you doing here?
Grandfather, I've come to an agreement with Mr. Earp. He's going to turn us all loose if you promise to stop fighting the Wade.
Oh, I thought so. Earp is a good-looking scamp, and he's turned your head.
Grandfather, how can you say such a thing?
Forget it, Miss Fentress. Colonel's determined to have a war.
I make no deal with you, Earp. I don't have to.
No?
Brothers has telegraphed the governor, and the governor is a personal friend of mine.
Grandfather, I've given...
Mind your manners, Mary Ellen. No lady would associate with a fellow like Earp. You go along back to the hotel. Immediately. You and that small-town judge will soon be out of jobs.
Paul? Send Colonel Wade in here. I'm going to make you the same offer I made to Fentress. I'll keep him and his men in jail here for a while and let your crowd go free, if you'll promise to get out of town.
And make peace, I suppose.
I don't care what you and Fentress do outside the city limits. But I'm not going to have any gunfire in the streets of Wichita.
You're bluffing with a poor hand, Earp. A pair of deuces.
Oh, I am, huh?
Yes, you are. Of course, Fentress wired the governor and we'll be out of here by morning. And so will you, Sonny.
Wyatt, a Fentress cowhand and a Wade gunslinger are making showdown talk on Douglas Avenue. They've hid their guns, so we just can't arrest them.
Let's go down and get it.
What have you been doing sitting around here talking? You wouldn't let them run us out of town? Come on, get out of the way. You've been doing enough talk. Why don't you draw?
This one's dead. This one's still breathing. He's wearing Bar W spurs. First blood for Colonel Fentress. All right, you men, take him on over to Doc Fabrique's. Give him a hand. Lift him careful.
Oh, Wyatt, the jig's up. A writ of mandamus from the court in Topeka. We've got to release both Wade and Fentress outfits.
According to what the court says.
Now,
Well,
Wyatt...
they said it, let them enforce it.
I'll be impeached, and you'll be fired.
Look, there's one man dead and another man so badly wounded he'll be crippled for life. And do you know why? Because 12 years ago, Fentress accused Wade of being cowardly at the Battle of Malvern Hill. Ollie, bring Fentress and Wade in here. Judge, I'm going to say something to them that you won't want to hear. Will you leave us alone?
But you don't understand. A writ of mandamus...
Judge, please.
Good night, Wyatt.
Good night, sir. Have a seat, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Colonel Wade, one of your men was just killed in a gunfight down at the Texas house.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Colonel Fentress, your man was shot up so badly he'll be crippled for life.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, neither one of you cares a hoot. They're both just nobodies in your own private little war. All right, gentlemen. Come morning, you'll have your own little private war and your own little private battlefield.
Battlefield? What do you mean?
I mean that you and Colonel Fentress are going to fight the next battle all by yourselves. These are your guns.
You suggesting a duel, sir?
I don't care what you call it. But tomorrow morning, my men and I are going to take you to Denby's horse barn. There's nice thick walls so that no innocent bystander can get hurt. This is your fight, isn't it?
Yes.
Of course.
Well, then I assume you have no objection to fighting it out personally. Or would you rather have it fought by boys who never even saw Malvern Hill?
No. I'm ready.
So am I.
Good. I just hope you're both as brave as your hired hands. Oh, and don't worry. If either of you is killed, your great attorney, Mr. Brodus, can appeal it to the Supreme Court. Have a good night's rest, gentlemen.
Good night.
right, gentlemen. Here are your guns. There are 3 bullets in each. Check the cylinders. Now, Ollie will open the door. You walk in side by side. Then you'll make your own arrangements as to when to start the fight and the distance between you. You understand? Any time, gentlemen.
Grandfather! Where's my grandfather?
Take it easy. Your grandfather and Colonel Wade went inside the barn to shoot it out.
Are you mad? He's an old man. He doesn't see very well.
He's no older than Wade.
But he'll be killed.
It's 6, Ollie. Open the door.
My grandfather, you killed him. He's dead, you murderer. Grandfather! Grandfather, thank heaven.
I'm all right, honey. Wretched bad shooting.
Take him to Doc for Breeks.
I hate you.
Oh, there, Mary Ellen. The war's over. Jack and I decided we've had enough. Come on, Jack.
Go ahead, Colonel.
Thank you, Colonel.
I'm sorry. I lost my temper.
I lost my temper, too, but I'm not sorry. Just for once, the old fools who started a range war had to fight it out themselves.
Please. Can't we be friends, Mr. Herb?
The war's over for you, too, huh? You know, the courts are not going to like any of this.
Would it be all right if I sort of fell in love with you?
Nope. I'm under a writ of mandamus.
A writ of... What's that?
Well, that means I can't get married for years and years.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The friendship between Wyatt Earp and young Bat Masterson began in Ellsworth, Kansas. It was interrupted when Bat went off to school and Wyatt became Marshal of Wichita. Earp's time as Marshal of Wichita was drawing to a close, and in the meantime, Bat had grown up, but he still had the ambition to be a ladies' man and to wear a star in his own right. This had brought dangerous consequences. It brought young Masterson into conflict with the notorious Sergeant King, a former cavalryman and one of the meanest characters on the western frontier.
And now I'll show you how to put some English on the cue ball.
English?
Yeah. Now watch. You hit the ball just a little off center, like this. Now here's another little trick. Now this time...
Hello, Amy. No, it was the kid.
I'm Bat Masterson. Who are you?
He's Sergeant King.
Amy's my girl. Or perhaps you didn't know that.
Look, please, Bat doesn't want any
Shut up.
trouble.
I'll let it pass this time, Sonny. But if I catch you sparking around her again, I'll...
Look, you don't own Amy. And you don't boss me.
No?
No.
Phil, please, the sergeant's got a gun.
Oh, you baby-faced little squirt, you...
Sergeant!
Well, well, if it isn't the captain. Get out of here, King. I mean it. You can't order me around. I'm not in the Army no more.
Look, just let me get my guns and...
No! I can still put you under arrest. Want me to do that? Look, I'm not fighting you. The next time I catch you with Amy, I'll gun you. Now get out. You're young Masterson, civilian scout at Fort Dodge.
Yes, sir.
Does your friend Wyatt Earp know you're tangling with gunfighters like King?
No, sir, but I'm not scared of them.
Sonny, he'd have killed you. Next time I might not be on hand.
Oh, Bat.
Now, don't you worry about me, honey.
Marshal Earp?
Oh, Captain. Been a long time.
And now time is short. I have to join my patrol. When did you last hear from Bat Masterson?
Bat? Oh, it's been about 4 months. He wrote me from school in Topeka.
He's not in school now. He signed on with the Army as a scout.
Fine. Promised me he'd stay in school.
I think he got a little too big for the other boys. But you've heard of one of my former non-coms, Sergeant King.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Bat's picked himself a fight with King over some girl at a roadhouse near Dodge City.
Well, he's in trouble.
Masterson wouldn't stand a chance with King in gunplay.
No. I better ride over to Dodge and have a talk with Bat.
Good. That's a big load off my mind. You'll find him at Regan's Roadhouse outside Dodge.
Oh, it's mighty nice of you to pass the word, Captain.
Well, I haven't forgotten how you helped us out with the Daggett gang in Oklahoma Territory. Now, watch yourself, Mr. Earp. King's bad medicine.
No, I'll be real careful, Captain. And thanks again.
Here's your leave of absence signed by the mayor.
Any objection?
He hollered his head off. I think he suspects folks over at Dodge are trying to hire you away.
No, nothing like that. Just personal business. I'll be gone about 3 or 4 days. You'll be acting marshal. Just follow the regular routine.
Wyatt, I don't mean to get personal, but you going against trouble?
I might be. The instructions for returning my body to Illinois are in the drawer there. Give me a hand.
All right.
Amy! Amy! What's the matter? You look worried.
I am. Is Sergeant King after you?
Well, he better not be. Oh, now, honey, you promised not to bother yourself about that fella. He's jealous, that's all. He thinks he's a lady killer.
He's a man killer, Bat.
Ah, forget about King. I'm hungry and it's time to eat. And the Army wants me to go north and be a scout with General Custer. He's going to put old Sitting Bull in the sack next spring. Nah, but I'm going to stick around Dodge. Get me a job as a deputy marshal.
Well, would that pay more than scouting for the Army?
Oh, 2 or 3 times the money. Let's see, I'll get my share of all the fines. And counting what I'll win gambling, well, I'll make my pile so quick we can get married.
I haven't said yes.
And I wouldn't ask you, Amy. Not until I can give you pretty clothes and a living with some style to it.
Oh, you talk real sweet, honey. But I still think you should stay with the Army.
Why?
Well, because it's safer. You got the whole government on your side.
Now, there you go again, worrying about me.
Well, I know it hurts your feelings when I say it, but you're still a kid.
And you're so old.
Well, I'm older than you are, and I've learned enough to know that... Who's a stranger?
It's Wyatt Earp. Hello, Mr. Earp.
Mr. Masterson?
I meant to write you, but things move so fast I never got around to it. You on your way to Dodge?
No. Who's the young lady?
Oh, excuse me. Miss Amy Pelton, this is Mr. Earp. As good a friend as I ever had.
Well, I guess heaven must have sent you. I've been so worried I was on the verge of writing you myself.
Now, Amy, I don't...
Would you talk to him? See if you can talk some sense into his stubborn head? Well, I'll just be in the way. Excuse me.
I just couldn't stay in school. They had something called algebra. It was tougher than going against sawed-off shotguns, so I left.
Yeah, well, let's talk outside.
Yes. And I don't like scouting for the Army. I want a star. I am to be a deputy marshal in Dodge.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, Mr. Masterson.
Look, Amy tries to treat me like a kid. Are you going to do that?
No.
Well, then stop calling me Mr. Masterson. I'm a grown man. Call me Bat, will you? We're friends, aren't we?
All right, Bat.
The only reason you called me Mr. Masterson was to make me feel older. Now I feel plenty old.
But I'm, messing into your private affairs, huh?
Well, who asked you to come here?
Good friend of yours. He, kind of thought you were rushing things a bit.
How do you mean?
Miss Pelton? You in love with her?
Yes, I am.
Aim to marry her?
That's right. Just as soon as I get me a deputy marshal's job in Dodge.
What seems to be the hang-up there?
New mayor. Fellow by the name of Hoover. Says he wants men with more experience. I told him I used to help you in Ellsworth.
What did he say to that?
Said if you'd recommend me, I could have the job. But I don't guess you'd do that, huh?
No. Not yet a while.
Not yet a while. It's always not yet a while, isn't it? With you, with Amy, with all of them. I'm gonna ride to the next saloon and get drunk. Come on.
Dad? Dad, stop. Come back.
Oh, you better go after him. He'll try to pick a fight with Sergeant King. He'll be killed.
Easy now.
Well, didn't he tell you? King threatened to gun him if he didn't stay away from me. And King'll do it. He's a terrible man.
He's not going after King. Told me he was going to ride over to the next saloon and get himself drunk.
Oh, well, he won't.
What makes you so sure?
Well, that's one thing you taught him not to do. He was just trying to worry you.
I tried to teach him a few other things, too.
Yes, I know. About women. He told me.
Offhand, I imagine Bat can be quite a bit of trouble.
Well, he is. Sergeant King was after me, and well...
Used Bat to discourage King, huh?
Yeah, I guess I did.
Look, I know it's awful rough out here for a girl, but still...
You think I should have picked on an older man? Well, all right. You be my hero. You see? Fellow won't stick up for a girl unless he really likes her. And Bat really likes me. And besides... Come on inside.
No, you go on in.
Hold it, Amy. Where's Masterson?
He's not here.
That's right.
You're both lying.
Your name, King?
Now, who are you?
Earp. Wyatt Earp, Wichita. Miss Pelton and I don't like to be called liars. Now, you get on your horse and get out of here.
You can't wet nurse that kid forever. He keeps away from her, or I'll kill him.
Don't look very drunk to me.
I'd change my mind.
Stop acting like a 10-year-old brat.
I saw you running over King. He's my trouble, not yours. Look, quit following me, will you? I don't want to talk about it.
I'm your friend, remember?
Yeah, my friend. Playing a big hero. My wet nurse. That's what King called you, my wet nurse.
Maybe you need one.
Yeah, well, you'll see if I do. And so will King. The worst thing that could have happened. The very worst.
Is it?
Yes. A man fights his own fight. He doesn't let a friend fight it for him. No, I don't want any. I got back just when you were taking his gun away. 1 minute sooner and I could have faced him on my own.
No, you couldn't.
Oh, you mean you wouldn't have let me? Look, Mr. Earp, can't you see you've got to let me? King said it when he said you can't wet nurse me forever.
Look, I want you to live a while.
I can take King in a gunfight.
Now, don't be foolish. He's put 9 men in Boot Hill.
Oh, drunks, bragging cowhands. Couple of scared rabbits that didn't dare shoot back. Gosh, Mr. Earp, I thought you had more confidence in me with a gun.
That gunfighting isn't target practice.
Well, there's got to be a first time for every man.
All right, and wait until you're a man.
Mr. Earp, I'm past 21 years old. It's been a long time since Ellsworth.
Look, all you want to do is show off in front of Amy. You want to impress her.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. And I got to tell you something. I had a long talk with Amy, and she's not that much in love with you.
What'd she say?
Well, she doesn't like Mr. King either. You just happened to show up conveniently.
Well, I don't believe that.
I'll go soak your head in a tub. Cool off. I'll be downstairs waiting. When you get sense back, I'll talk to you.
What'd Bat say?
Nothing sensible.
Oh, he still wants to fight King, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, I know how to fix that.
How?
I'll just tell him that I don't care anything about him. Then he'll be real sore at me, and you can take him back to Wichita.
But he wouldn't go. He'd just think you were lying to keep him out of trouble, and he'd accuse me of putting you up to it.
Well, what can we do then?
Well, I guess I'll just have to shoot Mr. King. Not fatally, just clip him a little.
Be kinder if you'd clip Bat.
Kinder?
Well, what'd happen to that boy if word got out that you gunned King to save him? He'd never live it down, Mr. Earp.
Well, a few weeks' talk. Men in Dodge City find something else to talk about.
No. Men can be awful cruel. Talk would follow Bat everywhere he went.
Maybe you're right.
And how would you like to live in this country with men saying your best friend had to fight your first battle for you?
Well, there's only one other chance.
What's that?
He wants to wear a star. He wants to be a marshal. Traveling?
That's right. Dodge City.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, sure.
I was just out there walking a little bit. Thinking about what you said this afternoon about the deputy marshal job.
Yeah?
I can't very well recommend you for Dodge because I don't know what their plans are there. How about working in Wichita for me?
No, thanks.
Make you a full deputy.
Well, can you hold the place open?
For how long?
Until I've had my fight with King. Might take a day or so for him and me to get together. He moves around different places and...
I give up.
Sorry we can't agree, Mr. Earp. But a man's got to do the way he thinks is right.
Yeah. Well, I reckon this will be the last time.
Oh, I'll see you again.
I doubt it. You're too slow. You don't know how to shoot.
What?
You heard me. You don't know the first principle about gunfighting.
What do you mean? I'm almost as good as you are.
Would you like to try and prove it?
Yeah, right now. Let's go into the barn.
All right.
Trying to shake hands with me for the last goodbye. I'll show you a trick or two with guns you don't even know. You think I'm just a bragging kid? Well, I practiced my draw. Practiced hours and hours. When I'm clean.
Let me see it.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not the point. It's always the unloaded gun that goes off. Here.
All right, anytime you're ready.
Oh, wait a minute. You're too far away. King will move in close on you to make sure. Come on. That's it. Hold it right there. See, you lost a lot of time reaching up for him. Now, you lower your gun belt until the grips just touch the palm of your hand as they hang naturally. That's it. Now, we'll try it again. This time I'll stay close to you so I can see what you're doing. You ready?
Yeah.
Keep your hands down. Well, that's pretty good. If I'd have missed you or hadn't hit you in a vital spot, you could have gotten a shot off at me.
Well, I didn't claim to be as fast. I said almost as fast.
You're plenty fast enough, but you telegraph.
Telegraph?
Mm-hmm. A gunfighter who hasn't had too much experience usually starts the draw with his eyes. He either blinks them or narrows them and lets the order that his brain has given to his hand show in his face. When the shoulder muscles tense, and his hand usually just makes a little move to get closer to that gun grip.
You mean I did all those things?
Well, any one of them would be just enough to give King a tenth of a second on you. But your main fault is that you're watching my hand.
Well, aren't you supposed to watch to make sure the other man is really going to draw?
Well, don't you worry about King. He'll draw. Now, you never mind his hand. You just keep your eye on the spot you want your bullet to go. Now, where do you want to shoot King?
Well, just shoot him. I hadn't thought about exactly where. I guess I'll hit him in the shoulder. That's what you do.
But just where in the shoulder?
Well, right here.
No. No, a shoulder shot is aimed just a hand's length. Right here, from the breastbone. You hit just below the collarbone. Now, the bullet paralyzes the brachial plexus nerve. The impact spins your man off balance, and he falls.
Yeah, but what if King draws with the other hand?
Well, you got to take care of that, too. Load your gun. I'm going to draw this shoulder high. Now, this is the area for the cripple shot. Right there. Now, a miss to the left, you'd either get the throat or you get the heart. Miss to the right, you'd miss clean. Now, remember, the moment you see King, you draw. One flash of recognition, and your eyes steady on this circle. Now, as soon as you see this spot, your hand moves, but not until. Now, your eyes stay focused on this circle as the gun sight comes up. Now, the instant that gun sight reaches the lower point of this circle, you fire. But you wait for the gun sight, you understand? Come on. Now, this is about the right distance. A little closer. That's it. Now, you keep your eyes on the circle at all times, and you face your target squarely. Let your arms hang down naturally to the side. All right, it's King. Well, you didn't wait for your gun sight, and you didn't take time to draw. Now, let's try it again. Now, take your time. It's important to draw fast and get off the first shot, but it's much more important to have your bullet go where you want it to go. All right? Draw. Well, that's better. You got him close to the heart that time. You satisfied?
No. I want to hit where I aim.
Look, Bat, why don't you forget Amy and King and come back to Wichita with me, huh?
I thought we were talking about gunfighting. Now, is there anything else I ought to know?
Yeah, there's plenty more you ought to know. We'll have another session tomorrow. In the meantime, you just practice what I taught you.
All right.
That's pretty good. You didn't telegraph, and you took a split second to aim.
Well, that ought to be pretty good after 2 solid days of this.
There's just one other thing. Let's see you fall down and draw.
Fall down and draw?
That's right. You've been assuming through all of this that you're going to outdraw King and put him out of action.
Well, yes, I have.
You got no right to assume any such thing. No, King may draw faster than you and knock you down. But let's say that you're still able to shoot. Fall down.
Yeah, but if I'm down, where do I aim?
You aim right at his heart. I've seen a lot of men get hit in the stomach and keep on shooting. Now, you remember, if you're hit, you go down. You got to kill in the next instant or be killed. It's your life or his.
Yes, sir, I understand.
All right, let's try it. You ready?
Yeah.
No, you missed. Come on, try it again. Get yourself set.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
That's good. you going?
Oh, Archie's driving me to Dodge. I can't stay here. As soon as you leave, King will be coming after Bat, and I'll be next.
Did you tell Bat you were leaving?
No, I hate goodbyes. You explain it. Come on, Archie.
That's Amy. She left.
What'd you expect? She's afraid of King.
Yeah, but running out on me. We talked about getting married. She knows I wouldn't let
You
King...
never did have much sense when it came to women. Now, why don't you wake up? Amy's just a good-time gal. Gunfight isn't her idea of a good time. You were foolish to credit Amy for being any more than what she is. She'll always run away from trouble. You sure you don't want me to stick around till our friend Sergeant King shows up again?
No, I don't. School's out.
Probably haven't learned a thing.
Well, if I haven't, that's my funeral.
I still think you ought to come to Wichita with me.
That tame old town? You should be ashamed to stay there.
Oh?
Yeah, but you'll get fed up with Wichita. You'll come to Dodge. That's where all the excitement's going to be.
Well, maybe I'm too old.
Oh, yeah. Can I hold a stirrup for you?
You just remember one thing your old man Herb taught you. You draw fast, but you aim slow.
Yeah, I know it all by heart. Now get going, will you?
Good luck.
Oh, young man, take heed of this good advice. A headstrong man is a dead man. You never get the same chance twice. So, young man, go, young man, and learn from the wise and strong that a headstrong fool is a dead fool, but a fast-thinking man lives long. Oh, young man, think fast, shoot slow.
Where's Amy?
Not here.
But you're here.
Get out of here, Odie. Go on, get out.
All right, Mr. Masterson, you got him.
I did?
Completely.
I feel awful sick.
You just killed a man. How do you expect to feel? Like cheering? Come on. Put your arm around my shoulder. Will we be able to travel, Doc? Good. I want to take him to his folks.
No. I still want to be a Martian.
Now, look, that leg's got a long time to go before it's going to be well. It's going to be months before you're going to be able to walk. When you are able to, I want your first job as deputy to be with me.
You mean I made it?
Mm-hmm. You made it.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold.
Wyatt Earp, against his will, is Marshal of Ellsworth, Kansas. The year is 1874, and Ellsworth was one of the wild cow towns of the western frontier. Bill Thompson had killed Earp's close friend, Sheriff Whitney, and Earp had arrested Bill, who escaped. This pursuit of Bill Thompson was the key to Wyatt Earp's success in Ellsworth.
Wyatt, I put this ordinance through because you insisted. But it's a new and radical idea. Well, I'm a new and radical peace officer, Ed. But you've got along fine without trying to make them check their guns. You've calmed this town down. Look at it. It's like a village back east. Well, don't fool yourself, Ed. Still Ellsworth, Kansas, just 2 jumps from the Chisholm Trail. Well, I may be stupid, but I don't see what the no-gun law has to do with catching Bill Thompson. Well, his brother Ben's bound to come back into town sometime or other. Oh, you mean to decoy Bill by throwing Ben in jail? That's right. But that's not the only reason for the no-gun rule. You know, packing guns in town is a tradition with the cowhands we got to break. But it's an old tradition, Wyatt. They feel they have to go armed in self-defense. Sure. But like a lot of old customs, it just isn't logical. If they're not wearing any guns, nobody's going to shoot at them. It's the code. Shooting at a man that isn't armed is like shooting a fellow in the back. Just isn't done, right? Yes, but you can't change a cowhand. You'll see. Howdy, gentlemen.
Howdy. That mean a man can't pack a gun in this town?
That's right. I've set up check racks at the saloons, the hotels, and BB's store. We posted signs like this all over town. We're trying to keep you healthy.
They tell me you're pretty good, but you're not good enough to enforce that stupid law. Not in Ellsworth.
Easy now, mister. Let him talk.
I've been carrying guns since I was a kid. Got to be a habit. And I aim to keep on carrying them.
Well, not in Ellsworth, mister. You and your friend start to the nearest check rack. Now. Make him move. Now drop your gun. Left hand. You know where the jail is? Start walking. Pick up your hat. Get the guns in. They wouldn't check their guns, Mike. So lock them up for 10 days.
Don't we get a trial?
Sure, if you insist. And you get 30 more days for resisting an officer. Still want a trial?
Mr. Earp, sir. This is Miss Abby Crandall. She wants to... Miss Crandall, meet my friend, Marshal Wyatt Earp.
Well, that really does know you. How do you do, Mr. Earp?
I'm in good health, thank you, ma'am.
I came all the way in from the cattle camp just to meet you. My dad says I'm a born hero worshiper. Guess I am sort of cheeky about it. Would you mind just shaking hands?
Not at all.
Thank you. Very much. Well, now, Bat, I believe everything you told me about Mr. Earp. We already heard how he cut down the Thompson.
No, I didn't tell the half of it.
Well, now, hold on. All this gushy talk isn't needed. I'm not President Grant. Now, what favor can I do for you?
Favor?
Well, I would guess that one of your relatives was in trouble or something.
Oh, no, Mr. Earp.
Miss Crandall's dad runs a big cattle spring.
Is your father Tom Crandall, the Oklahoma Territory?
Mr. Earp is suspicious of me, but all great marshals have to be that way. You see, I've met Mr. Hickok of Wichita, and Mr. Bassett of Dodge City, Mr. Luke Short of Abilene.
She specializes in marshals.
And now I can brag that I met the great Wyatt Earp. Well, thanks for introducing us, Bat. Hope I meet you again real soon. You too, Bat.
Same here, Miss Crandall. You weren't too polite, Mr. Earp.
I wasn't intending to be.
Well, she's the nicest girl I ever met. No paint and powder and no swear words. I thought you'd like her.
Mr. Masterson, I wish you'd stick to poker. You wouldn't get hurt so bad.
Sir?
Didn't it ever occur to you that Miss Crandall may not be telling the whole truth?
No, what do you mean?
Well, she smiled with her mouth, but there wasn't any smile in her eyes. Didn't you notice that?
No.
And that story about her riding all the way into town just to shake my hand. Huh?
Well, you're famous, Mr. Earp.
No, that's just local notoriety, that's all. I'm not trying to say that she's going to lead you into a life of shame.
A life of shame with her? Why, Mr. Earp.
Why, Mr. Masterson. You know, I think the time has come for you and I to have a serious talk.
Excuse me, Wyatt. I just heard the new prisoners talking. They say Ben Thompson's in town.
Where?
The Red Dog Saloon.
I sure hope he's wearing his gun. Now, you stay here. Hello, Wyatt. Hello, Ben.
How's the marshaling business?
Quiet. Hope it stays that way.
Don't expect any trouble from me. I'm back in this poker game here. Care to sit in?
No, thanks. Not right now. You forgot something, didn't you?
Forgot what?
There's the sign. There's the check rack. Take 'em off. Now, let's go see the judge.
Judge Osborne ain't gonna back you up in that gun-checking monkey business, and you know it.
Well, let's see what the judge says.
Well, all right.
I think it's a fine state of affairs. A man can't sit down into an honest poker game without you coming around pestering him all the time. I got a big investment here.
I got a heavy investment, too, Ben.
In what?
This town. I got my whole hide put up for security.
T, we asked Judge Miller to come in a minute? Yes, sir.
Hey,
Judge Miller?
where's Judge Osborne?
We don't have Judge Osborne anymore. He left town last night, Ben. For good.
The governor made him resign and appointed me.
Judge Miller, I found Ben and the Red Dog wearing his guns.
Did he try to resist you?
No, sir.
Very well, that'll be 10 days in jail, Mr. Thompson.
Just leave him the fine. I'll pay it.
The jail sentence is mandatory. Lock him up, Mike.
This is the second time you've tried this trick. You don't want me, you want my brother.
That's right.
You think Bill's fool enough to come walking into a trap like this? Twice now I've let you run it over me, Wyatt. Next time I'm gonna gun you.
I'll keep that in mind, Ben. Put him in a clean cell.
Is he gonna work?
Ben wasn't play acting. He knows Bill's a fool. That's what made him so mad.
You think Bill will come in and try to break Ben out?
Sure. He'll come into town with his whole gang and aim to blast his way through.
Then we'd better swear in some special deputies.
Yeah, we sure had.
Here are the deputies.
Oh. Wyatt, do you know all these gentlemen?
Mr. Daly? Mr. Davidson? You, sir?
I'm Jim Richards, Marshal. I met you at Sheriff Whitney's funeral.
Oh, that's right. Well, now to explain this, I better tell you what I know about the Thompsons first. With the exception of Bill's escape last week, they've only pulled one other jail delivery. That was in Hayes, Kansas, March of '71. Now, Bill was in jail for robbing a stage. Ben and about 12 gunslingers rode up to the jail and started a big palaver with the sheriff. And under cover of this, 2 men, on foot, sneaked around back and blew a hole in the wall with dynamite. They yanked Bill out, put him on a horse, and the job was done.
But Wyatt, what makes you so sure they'll try the same thing here?
Ben's the brains of the outfit, and we got him locked up. Bill was too stupid to think up a plan of his own, and he admires Ben too much to even try. I don't want to seem too positive about this, Ed. You're the boss.
No, I think you figured it pretty close.
Well, then here's the layout the way I see it. We station men at these points. Here, here, and here. We let Bill make his fight talk right here. But we don't do any shooting until the dynamiters are spotted. And I hope we can drop them, and by that time...
Mr. Earp, can I see a minute? It's Miss Abby. She's outside. She told me something you should know, sir.
Gentlemen, you go ahead and pick your stations. Bat's got something that might be important.
All right, Richards, you take this station here. Daly, you're here.
Does he believe me now?
Sure it does, Miss Crandall.
Look, I only want to help you. Maybe I did sound a little too romantic about peace officers, but I recognized Ben Thompson when you were taking him to jail. I could identify him.
All right, now just let me get this straight. You think it was Ben that pulled that Wells Fargo job in Topeka?
She saw Ben and the others before they put on their masks.
Just give me one good look at him, Mr. Earp. Are you still afraid I'm trying to lead Bat into a life of shame?
Well, that was a joke. It shouldn't have been repeated. And I apologize.
Then we're friends? It's no use, Bat.
You rode shotgun for Wells Fargo, Mr. Earp. Don't you want to solve...
You said enough already, Mr. Masterson.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind if I frisk you?
What?
You're wearing pants, aren't you?
Mr. Earp.
You say you want a close look at Ben Thompson. Well, all visitors in there must be searched.
All right.
Nothing personal, man. All right, we'll go see Ben. Well?
Hey, what is this?
Life's full of questions, Ben.
Was he the one you... God, she just left. Well, did she identify him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there, that proves she's all right. And you insulted Miss Crandall by searching her.
Mr. Masterson.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't really have to search her, though.
Look, if you expect to be a peace officer someday, you're going to have to deal with suspicion.
What?
One of the oldest dodges a woman can use to gain confidence is to identify someone. You see, this puts her on the side of the law.
You still don't trust her.
Now, she may be everything she says. But on the other hand, she may have used that identification trick to find out exactly where Ben's cell is. To let him know by her appearance that Bill is on his way.
Miss Abby, mixed up with the Thompsons?
Well, I may be doing her a great injustice.
Well, you sure are, Mr. Earp.
Well, in that case, I'll apologize. And right. We better be getting to our stations. If Bill's coming today. You'll want to work it before sundown.
Yes, sir. Mr. Earp, we're coming.
So quick? Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I saw them stop to get organized in the picnic grove.
Well, you better go tell Judge Miller. Wait. Remind him we don't want anybody killed. They'll give us no information dead. Tell him not to hurt Bill's horses, huh?
Yes, sir.
Open that door and turn Ben loose.
No use, Bill. We got 2 men down. Deputy's got it from the roof. I'm going to take the men out myself. Get out of my way. I'm coming to get you out! Pick up the guns. Teague, get in. Go on, Teague, bring the keys.
Bill, you stupid idiot.
Go on, get in. And take real good care of him, Ben.
No use trying to beat you. I vote we call it a night.
Well, that suits me.
What's your hunch? Do you think the Thompson crowd will come back?
No, not tonight.
Then I'll let the special deputies go home, all right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Mike, will you check the cells again for me?
Right.
I suppose we'll have to hang Bill.
Yeah, I suppose.
What else but hanging?
You don't sound too enthusiastic, Wyatt.
I'm not. If I were the judge, I'd take Bill's mental condition into account. I saw his eyes when he killed Sheriff Whitney. I got another good look at him again today. We ought to think about it, Ed.
Well, we'll see. Good night.
Good night.
You know, you could have been killed taking Bill the way you did. Now you don't think he should be hanged.
Not if he's crazy, no.
But he murdered Sheriff Whitney.
Mr. Masterson, I hope Bill is sane and gets the rope. But if he's a lunatic, the law says you can't hang him.
The law says.
Oh, I thought you wanted to be an officer of the law.
Well, yes, sir, but I sure don't
Well,
think
you
that-
better learn it'll be your job to protect every man's life, even when you think he deserves to die.
By the way, what happened to Miss Crandall? Did she leave town?
She went back to camp before the fight. Why?
I wish I knew exactly what she was up to.
But Miss Crandall is absolutely on the level.
Women disillusion you.
She likes you, Mr. Earp. She says you're the best looking and most capable of all the marshals she's met.
She's met a lot of marshals.
That's what she said.
They're all sound asleep, Wyatt.
Good. You and Bat think you can stay awake?
Sure. We both slept from after supper till almost midnight.
Good. I'm going to run over to the hotel and get a little sleep. Now, no visitors. If anybody knocks, I don't care if it's a governor with a prisoner, you keep them outside, and one of you come on over to the hotel and get me.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Good night. Oh, Mr. Masterson, don't take what I said too seriously about women. I'm no expert. Come to think of it, no man is.
Dad, let me in, quick.
Miss Abby, what's wrong?
They're after me because I told on Ben. Mr. Earp here?
No, at the hotel.
Who's that?
Oh, it's Mr. Teague, the deputy.
Put him up, both of you.
Miss Abby, you with a gun?
Take his keys. You drop your gun belt with your left hand.
You must be loco. Trailing with the Thompsons.
Shut up. Now through that door, both of you. Go on.
Good girl.
Open up that door.
All right, you two inside.
You better tie him up and gag him.
Nah, strangling's quicker.
Ben?
Get over there! You outside, you idiot! Any more of that, and I'll leave you right here in the cell.
Why don't we?
I don't like you. You've done a good job. Now, where's the marshal?
He's at the hotel. The horses are right around the corner. We better get out of here fast.
No, we got business first.
What does he mean?
I promised to gun Wyatt, and that's just what I'm going to do.
Hey, Earp. Marshal Earp. I just traded places with your friends, Wyatt, so get your guns and come down here and make your fight.
That's the way you want it, Ben.
Not in the back.
Let go and stay out of this. Crazy fool. I told you this has got to be done in a fair fight.
He won't let you do it. You better get him out of here.
I'm going to kill her myself. Now get on that horse. Go on. I got to get him out of here.
Well, go on then. I'll try and keep her up here.
Thanks, honey. I'll see you later.
Bill wouldn't let Ben make a fair fight. Don't start for your guns. You're fast, but all I gotta do is pull the trigger.
I didn't quite guess it, did I?
Not quite.
So you're one of Ben's girls, huh?
I'm his girl. The only one.
Oh. Well, what about his wife in Wichita?
You're lying.
And there's Nita Dreves in Amarillo. Gene Prentice, who lives in Dodge.
I don't believe you.
Now, what about Alice Mabry? She lived right here in Ellsworth. She went to Denver and killed herself when Ben left her. Oh, Ben gets around living his kind of life. It comes in handy having a lovesick girl like you in every town in the circuit. No, I did guess you wrong. I thought you had brains. But to think that Ben Taunton cares for you is just plain stupid. A young girl like you getting yourself mixed up with a dishonest gambler and a road agent. Don't you see what a fool you made of yourself, Miss Abby?
Keep your sermon to yourself. I'll look out for me, you look out for you.
All right. Well, let's start walking.
Where?
To jail.
Women. I know them now.
Well, now, Mr. Masterson, that is a reckless statement. They're subjects that can occupy a man all of his life.
Yes, sir. What's going to happen to Miss Abby?
Come here and I'll show you.
You're welcome, Miss Abby. Hey, is Judge Miller turning her loose?
Mr. Masterson, when a woman is young, she's too young to know right from wrong. And if she's pretty, well, then there's no law of man that can touch her bonnet strings.
Yeah, but didn't you raise a holler, Mr. Earp?
No, I didn't. I got other things more important on my mind. There's an insane killer running loose, and this time when I arrest Bill Thompson, he's going to stay locked up. Hey, say, Ed, by the way, when's Miss Abby's trial come up?
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that, Wyatt. As a matter of fact,
You let her go, huh? Well, that was wise, Ed.
Just because she was a woman?
Well, that and the fact that, well, you see, actually, we don't have any facilities for women in this particular jail.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, exactly. No facilities.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
I'll tell you a story, a real true life story, a tale of the western frontier. The West, it was lawless, but one man was flawless, and his is the story you'll hear.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
When he came to Kansas to settle in Kansas, he planned on a peaceable life. Some goods and some chattel, a few head of cattle, a home and a sweet loving wife.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
This is the beginning of the story of Wyatt Earp, the greatest of the old fighting peace officers, a real Western hero. So great was his character and so complete his skill at living with danger that he became a legend in his own lifetime. In the hard world of the Western frontier, with all its bad men and outlaws, Wyatt Earp became the peacemaker. As a marshal, he went up against the worst of them, and the stories they tell about him are doubly fabulous because they're true. This is Ellsworth, Kansas, 1873. Don't let the peacefulness deceive you. It was about as ornery a little town as you'd find outside of Dodge City. It was run by the Thompsons, a notorious gang of frontier gamblers and killers. Most of the decent people had pulled stake, and the ones who remained were afraid. When Wyatt Earp first rode into Ellsworth, he was fresh from hunting buffalo on the Great Plains. He was just a peaceful young man looking for a place to wash up.
Not too much now. It's good, huh? You got enough?
And remember, stranger, anybody that deals a game in Ellsworth cuts with the Thompsons.
Oh, boy.
Why don't you do something, mister? You've got guns. Stop them. Do something.
Not my fight. But you're welcome to use my guns.
Don't say it. I know what you're thinking.
I'm gonna say it. What are you gonna do about this, Whitney?
Nothing. Real cowboys I can handle, but not this kind. I'm too old. That's why I sent for young Earp.
Young, you say?
Well, he ought to be 24, 25 by this time.
A real trigger-happy gunfighter, huh?
No, he's not a gunfighter. I've known him most of his life, and I've known his folks, too. I'm not even sure he'll take the job. But if he would, it'll make this a better town to live in.
What makes you sure he can handle this crowd?
He rode shotgun for Wells Fargo out in California. Never lost a dime or a passenger. And when it comes to pulling down a buffalo...
I think we ought to leave things alone. I do business with these men. Good business. So do you.
If I have to run a newspaper with their patronage, I'll close up. Well, I hope this Earp comes soon, Whitney. My name's Wyatt Earp. I'm looking for Sheriff Whitney.
Ain't here.
Hey, Mr. Earp!
Well, if it isn't Mr. Masterson. What's the matter? Don't you like the beds in the hotel?
You joshing? The judge gave me 10 days or $50. And I didn't even have 50 cents after...
After what?
After I lost my money in a poker game. You just can't beat a crooked game, Mr. Earp.
You got any objection to my paying Mr. Masterson's fine?
Mr. Masterson, why, that young rascal, he isn't worth...
I said I'd like to pay his fine.
It's your money, mister.
Much obliged, Mr. Earp.
Don't mention it, Mr. Masterson.
Well, what are you doing in Ellsworth, Mr. Earp?
Well, I'm not right sure. Mr. Whitney sent word he wanted to see me.
It's Sheriff Whitney now.
That's what I hear. Who talked him into that?
Mayor Miller and the church people across the tracks. Somebody had to take it.
Mr. Whitney's a mite elderly for the job. From what I hear, this is a right bad town.
Bad? If you stay around here, you'll see the primest gunfights outside of Abilene. 4 men got killed last week, 3 the week before, in a poker game.
Well, speaking of poker, how much money did you lose?
$150, or thereabouts.
Professionals?
Sure, but I'm no crybaby, Mr. Earp. Man's got to learn sometime.
Yeah, that's right. You think that game might still be running?
Guess so.
Where?
Shannon's bar.
Come on.
I thought you had to see Sheriff Whitney.
Oh, that can wait. You know, I got a great respect for poker. Honest poker, that is. You might say I'm real fond of it.
No, Mr. Earp. Cad Pierce and George Pashar run that game. They ride with the Thompsons. They're both mean and awful fast with their guns.
You want your money back, don't you?
How many, dealer? Give me 2.
3.
2.
The 2 on the right.
3 queens.
Well, that's enough for me.
What's the matter? Don't you want to stay to get even?
Some other time. You stay out of this. Mind if I sit in?
Table stakes, mister. It'll cost you 100.
Ante up, gentlemen.
Hold it. You didn't deal me the top card.
You sure you want to say that, Sonny?
I'll put it a little plainer. I think you deal a crooked game. Same goes for you. Don't try it. Now get out. Both of you. Go on, both of you.
Boy, you sure drew royal flush, Mr. Earp. It's all yours.
All I want's my 100 and 150 they took from you. Losers in the game divide the rest. Help yourself, gents.
Why'd you let him off? Why didn't you kill him?
No point in that.
Huh?
Well, they stole your money and I got it back. You lost 150?
No, not quite that much.
How much?
$31, all I had. The rest was bragging.
Well, now, that took real courage to tell me that, Mr. Masterson. I'm proud you're my friend.
Yeah, but you should have killed him. They'll tell Ben Thompson and his brother Bill that you draw fast, but you don't shoot.
Well, when a man keeps on pulling his gun, you shoot. But if you get the drop on him and he quits, no.
Did you get that from the Bible or McGuffey's Reader?
I believe it's mentioned in both. You better check these at the hotel for me.
You better keep them on, Mr. Earp.
I'm not looking for trouble.
Yes, sir.
Wyatt, my boy.
Mr. Whitney, I started right off to find you, but I kind of got sidetracked.
Yes, I know. Say, sit down and rest yourself a mite, will you? I got a lot to talk to you about.
It won't take too much persuading to sell me some cattle.
Cattle? No, that isn't what I had in my mind. Wyatt, I sent for you to take my job.
What? You sure do make it awful tough, Mr. Whitney. I owe you for a lot of favors. I just don't see me wearing a star.
Well, is that so outlandish? I knew your folks back in Illinois. A lot of lawyers in the Earp family. Your father was a judge.
That's right. But the Earps have done their share for the law. Anyway, the law out here means trouble. You get enough of that without going looking for it.
Well, if that's the way you really feel about it.
Yes, sir, it is. Sure don't like to turn you down, but all I want to do now is buy myself a little cattle spread and sit back and watch the steers grow fat.
Sounds good. But let me ask you something. Why did you go up against 2 of the best gunslingers in the Thompson outfit?
they cheated bad?
I don't think that was the real reason.
No? What then?
A sense of rightness that was born in you. Some men have it, some don't.
Oh, look, Mr. Whitney, I'm sorry, but I just don't want the job.
I can't say as I really blame you. One man hasn't much chance to civilize a hoodlum cow town. But if you won't do me the big favor, will you do me a little one?
Yes, sir.
Get out of Ellsworth real fast. After that gunplay you made... Uh-oh. Ben and Bill Thompson.
Is that the great Wyatt Earp, Whitney?
Now, don't get nervous, Ben. He isn't wearing his guns. Better check yours at the hotel, too.
Is this the fool kid you're trying to make, Sheriff? What are you trying to do, pull a joke on us, Whitney?
Joke's on me, Bill. He won't take my job.
Go ahead, take it, Sonny. Run us out of town with your bare hands.
I'm not looking to cause any trouble for Mr. Whitney. I'll let him run me out of town. That satisfy you?
Yeah. It don't satisfy me. You don't make small of us with your jokes.
You better cool off, Bill. You're drunk. Give me the gun.
Sure, I'll give it to you. I've been wanting to give it to you for a long time, you meddling old fool.
You drunken fool!
At least I got me a sheriff.
Come on, get out of town. I'll cover for you.
Get him in the stores.
Now he wasn't partial to being a marshal, but fate went and dealt him his hand. While outlaws were looting and killing and shooting, he knew that he must take a stand. Oh, Wyatt Earp, long may his story be told.
Stay out of sight, Miller. We got this town treed.
He says he's going out there and arrest Ben Thompson, if he can find 2 guns that suit him.
Are you Wyatt Earp? Yes, sir. I'm Vic Miller, mayor. Sheriff Whitney was my best friend. He was mine, too. Did you come here without guns? No, sir. I checked them at the hotel. The Sears arrested on most of these.
I just heard about it.
Why the back door, Mr. Crawford?
Look, I need help, Mr. Mayor.
You could have shot Bill Thompson from behind a fence. You let him get away.
The thing to do is form a posse. Ben Thompson's the fastest hand with a Colt and...
Oh, let's see your gun. Give it to Mr. Earp. Now, the dog's filed off. Well, I know I can just let the hammer go. I tend to shoot too quick.
Maybe you ain't aiming to shoot at all.
I guess I'll have to use these.
I brought your guns, Mr. Earp.
You hurt?
Felt like I stopped a couple, but guess I didn't. I'm okay.
Needlessly reckless, Mr. Masterson. You could have come in by the alley like Marshal Crawford.
1 minute, Ben said, and he'll shoot up my store. If Earp fires just 1 shot, they'll burn the town.
That might be a good thing. Here, you better wear this. I won't need it. I think Mr. Whitney would have liked you to.
Hey, Miller! The great Wyatt Earp's got his guns now, so send him out here.
Don't walk into that shotgun, Mr. Earp. Shoot quick.
If he ain't out here in a minute, I'm coming in and get it. Did you hear that, Earp?
He didn't run.
He's fast, Ben. Get him now.
Ain't you kind of foolhardy, son, letting Miller pin a star on you and sending you out here? You guys stay out of this, all of you. You've come far enough, Earp. What do you expect me to do?
Throw your shotgun on the road, put up your hands, and tell your friends to stay out of this play.
Stop and let me talk to you. What are you going to do with me?
Kill you or take you to jail?
The minute I give this gun up, someone will cut loose at me.
If they do, I'll give you back your gun and we'll shoot it out with her. As long as you're my prisoner, the man who gets you's got to get me.
You going after my brother?
I don't waste my time. Now throw down your gun, or make you fight. All right, the rest of you men move back. Go on, move. Come on, Ben. We'll go over to the Calaboo's.
I think I could have gotten you.
No, that isn't what you were thinking.
No?
No, you figured I might get you.
If you had, my men would have shot you down.
Yeah, but you'd be dead. Then who'd look after your brother, Bill?
What are you, a mind reader?
Nope. But I got brothers, too. I can understand how you'd try and save them from the rope if you could.
Well, I'll be.
I agree with the judge.
Well, I don't agree with you, Judge, and I won't.
Quiet, both of you. I'll handle this in my own way. Well, Ben, what's the charge this time?
I guess we better let the new man speak his piece. He's the one that arrested me.
All right, son.
His brother Bill killed Sheriff Whitney. Ben helped him get away. That makes him accessory to the murder.
Bill did this, not Ben. Why didn't you organize a posse and go after Bill?
That'd be kind of stupid, sir.
Oh, it would.
Yes, sir. You just put Ben in jail where he belongs, and Bill's bound to come back and try to spring him. When he does, I'll arrest him, and you can hang him.
Oh, now I ask you, Judge. Is that legal?
No, it'll lower the dignity of this court.
Your dignity. Mr. Earp arrested Thompson at the risk of his life.
Order. I know how you feel, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Beebe, what do you say about this?
Well, I think Ben ought to be fined for disturbing the peace, and that's all.
Well, Ben, you agree to take your crowd out of town right away?
Sure do.
All right. $25 fine, $3 costs.
Do I get my guns back, Judge?
Yep. Sheriff, what's your name? Return Mr. Thompson's guns to him. Court's adjourned.
Well, I didn't know you were in cahoots with the judge.
Don't put him on till you get out of town.
Of course not. Promised the judge, didn't I? Come on, we're riding.
Just a cheap hunk of tin. Mr. Whitney didn't die for much, did he?
I know how you feel, but I sure wish you'd give us another chance.
No, thanks.
Mr. Earp, we're going to get a new judge at the next election and some good officers to help keep order.
My job's hunting buffalo. I don't get quite $25 a head for them, but then again, I don't have to bury them. Good day, gentlemen.
I'll learn you not to call Ben Thompson Yella.
I can handle it, Mr. Earp.
it up again and I'll hurt you.
You're under arrest.
Who is it?
Marshal Crawford.
I thought you were still hiding.
You won't be so brave when Judge Osborne gets through with you. And then this fellow Herb knocked Pete Logan unconscious with the barrel of a .45.
That's a lie. He did it with his fist.
Order. That means you keep your mouth shut. Well, Mr. Earp, who's stupid now?
You are, sir.
That's just what I wanted to hear. I fine you $50 for felonious assault. And I sentence you to 30 days in jail for contempt of this court.
That's the law for you. Mr. Earp ran your friends out of town single-handed, so you got
Shut up! You get 15 days in jail.
For what?
Vagrancy. Lock him up.
So they call this justice. He started bragging that Ben Thompson had left several gunslingers in town to take care of you. So I asked him why Ben didn't stay himself. Now, is that vagrancy, Mr. Earp?
Nope.
Well, just what is vagrancy?
Well, if you're playing poker and you win, you're a sporting man. But if you lose, you're a vagrant.
So you're in jail for being honest, and I'm here for being poor. Now, what kind of law is that?
Just the Ellsworth brand. Oh, but it could have been a lot worse.
How?
Well, they could have caught you drawn to an inside straight.
What is it now, Miller? I'm in a hurry.
Just a little story I'm telegraphing to the Capitol. The governor might like it for his paper. I thought you might like to look it over.
No law west of Newton. No God west of Dodge. Well, that means Ellsworth. Are you aiming to get me in trouble with the governor? I don't think you've got the nerve.
Until today, I don't think I did have.
Shyster Judge. The law on Ellsworth is a farce. Well, that's libelous.
No, that's blackmail.
Well, what is it you want?
Wyatt Earp and young Masterson. What's wrong, Mr. Earp? Marshal Crawford and the judge sure left in an awful hurry by the back door.
They were scared of you.
The judge and the Thompson brothers can't afford to have us run it over them. Logan told Bat here that there was somebody gunning for me. And here it comes. Get away from me, both of you. Go on.
You in a hurry to leave town, Mr. Earp?
Nope.
Ben says we've had enough of you. So does Judge Osborne.
What do you think?
Get out. Well, you drink up.
Get Ben to teach you to shoot with both hands. Come on, Pat, help me pick him up.
Yes, sir.
I guess I better wear that star before the judge can throw me in jail for disturbing the peace.
Primest gunfight I ever saw. Thompson caught his gun sight in the holster. Pierce heard his aim and got off a wild shot. But what happened to Bashar?
Well, he was left-handed. Go on, men, take him to jail.
Much as I hate losing good customers, Mr. Earp, it'll be a pleasure having you around.
Can you imagine that? The odds were 3-1 against you, Mr. Earp.
Well, let's forget about gunfighting odds, Mr. Masterson. But I've noticed that you give very little thought to the odds in poker. Now, do you realize that the odds against your drawing a straight flush are 65,000 to 1? And in drawing to one pair, the odds against your improving that hand are 360 to 1. Oh, it's a risky business, poker.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold.
আপনি কিন্তু দেখতে যথেষ্ট সুন্দরী একজন মানুষ, দেখতে বেশ রোমান্টিক, যেন শেক্সপিয়ারের নাটকের কোনো নায়িকার মতো। ভেবেছিলাম, কিন্তু আপনি তো পুরোটাই মর্মান্তিক। যে কোনো মানুষ আপনাকে দেখে মর্মাহত হতে পারে।
আমার হালকা হতে 1 মাস সময় লেগেছে।
আপনার 1 মাস সময় লাগে? আমার হালকা হতে তো 1 মিনিট লাগে।
আমার কাছে মনে হয় জীবনসঙ্গী এমন হওয়া উচিত যার সাথে আপনি প্রতিটা মুহূর্ত উপভোগ করতে পারবেন, সারাক্ষণ খুনসুটিতে মেতে থাকতে পারবেন এবং তার মনে এমনভাবে বসবাস করবেন যে আপনার দিকে সে একটাবার তাকালেই বলে দিতে পারবে যে তার বেঁচে থাকার কারণই আপনি।
পথে চলতে চলতে, কথা বলতে বলতে, কখন যেন হলে আমার,
জানি গল্পে গল্পে মিশে অল্পে অল্পে আমিও হয়ে গেছি তোমার।
ছোট ছোট ভুল ফুটে হলো ফুল যে তোমাকে পেলাম,
গুটি গুটি পায়ে স্বপ্নের নাই আমি ভেসে গেলাম।
আপনি কি মনে করেছেন একজন মানুষ আমার জীবন থেকে চলে গিয়েছে এবং আপনি সেই সুযোগটা কাজে লাগিয়ে আপনার ফিলিংস গুলো আমার কাছে এক্সপ্রেস করবেন আর আমি সেটা হ্যাপিলি অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নিব? এই হচ্ছে আপনার বন্ধুত্বের নমুনা?
রোদের পাখি তোর শহরে, আমার মনের স্বপ্ন ঘিরে, ওরে পাখি ওরে সারাক্ষণ, তোর শহরে বৃষ্টি হলে ভিজে আমার মন।
Để xem cái này nó của nàng. Thừa thì bớt 2 lần nhưng mà qua đây kiếm tiền để bớt nha. Chẳng mà sao chúng nó cứ chơi ở đây, kiếm tiền để bớt ở đây ạ. Ra chúng nó cứ bày ở đây thì anh cũng bày ở đây rồi. Đến quan đi bớt. Rồi ra khỏi xe. Kinh rét ra, kinh rét thờ rét luôn. Chuẩn form vậy thầy ơi. Sojin này, Sojin tiềm năng này. Chúng đồ cho Asia rồi. Có quan trọng xin ra đâu. Sắp đủ đồ. Mình chia lên. Đầu ra ông ăn giỏi mà cho huy hiệu thần rừng thực sự là hợp lý đấy thầy. Bao là hợp lý. Lộn đầu à để thầy chỉ tắc kè phải thần rừng cũng gọi tắc kè loài mắt. Lắc đi à? Lắc đi là sao? À, đẹp đấy nhỉ, đẹp đấy. Là đẹp. Không sao đâu bạn ơi. Không sao. À. Ngồi đầu. Mình không biết. Bay nhanh bay điếc mà. Bay tí tỷ láp. Phải không vậy? Ta tính chưa? Thích chưa? Thích rồi. Thích rồi tiền. Xin rồi, phải bay trên đỉnh một lúc mới xuống. Wow. Có phần nữa theo hết 38. Ui. Ê, ok, thua mà. Thua được mà. Cái này thua được mà. Chôn không?
ভালোবাসা সুন্দর, ভালোবাসাও সুন্দর। মানুষ নিজের অজান্তেই ভালোবেসে ফেলে।
আমার মনে হয় কি জানেন, আপনার মতো জানাশোনা কাউকে না আমার বিয়ে করা উচিত।
এটা কি উপলক্ষে?
ম্যাডাম, ফুলটা গ্রহণ করুন, তারপরে বলতেছি।
ভোটার আইডি কার্ডে যার স্বাক্ষরের জায়গায় টিপসই দেয়, এখানে কেউ ডাক্তার।
এই দুইজনের মধ্যে যে আগে ম্যাডামের মন জয় করতে পারবে, ম্যাডাম তার।
একদিন না দেখলে তোমায় বন্ধু আন্ধার লাগে সব, তোমার এই প্রেমে এমনই টান।
রোগীদের তো ডক্টরের কাছে আসলে ব্যথা কমে যায়, আপনি তো উল্টো বলবেন। আপনি কি উল্টা?
তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, যেও না বন্ধু আমার ভুলিয়া।
আমার মনে হয় আমার সমস্যা কপালে। ম্যাডাম আমার কপালে নেই, আমার কপালে আছে দাগ।
Dạ. Cái múc rửa từ đó giờ anh hay vậy, anh hay như điên mà chịu trốn. Cung xanh à, đáy máu, đáy máu. Đây Đúng ra thì buồn lắm rồi, buồn lắm em ơi, biết trách ơi đấu lên được rồi. Ôi, 18 mẫu 2 sao nữa. Thiếu tận 68 tiền cơ. Mới có 53 tiền. Để đủ. Vay nữa không thầy? Vay nhà hack rồi. Vay khác thì hack đâu. Mình vay app file được mà. Asma chi nhất lava dragon. Cái cục lava phế mà. Thầy khỏe hơn. Bữa nay đánh oan của nó còn chết cơ. Thằng thì top 1. Bạn thế cao thằng top 1 vậy. Thắng top 1 này. Nếu sao thắng được thằng top 10. Phải thắng không vậy? Bắn nhỉ? Nhanh ghét. Thắng đi. Chưa thắng rồi, gần thắng. Khiếp, phải bắn toàn để chiêu bắn được mà. Đéo có đam. What the hell, 5 phép. Chiều rồi. Toàn 5 phép ạ. Ra gì à? Ra khó lắp bù làm mau đấy. Cầu nguyện đi. Muốn hôm nay nghỉ mà nhớ hôm nay chắc quan rồi. Là quan nhưng cũng vậy. Mẹ thần yên rồi, phải mong sống như vậy. Sống phải ra ria đi. Đéo ra ria thua đấy. Mày đánh thần rừng đâu. Đánh nhật sĩ vậy. Nhật sĩ của tao vậy. Hay rồi, hay. Hay xếp mấy nữa là hay. Xếp mấy nữa là hay. Đấy rồi, mày. Nếu được rồi, không hay. Không thua. Không thắng.
তোমাকে 15 লাখ টাকাই দিতে হবে। তুমি যদি দিতে না পারো তোমার বাবাকে কল দাও। তোমার যত জমি জিরাত বাড়িতে যা যা আছে এগুলো বেচা হইলেও তোমরা আমাদের টাকা পাই করে শোধ করবা।
একটা ব্যাপার কি খেয়াল করছো? শহরে কিন্তু দুইটা রূপ, রাতের এক রূপ, দিনের আর এক রূপ।
বেঁধেছি ঘর হৃদয়ের পর গাঢ় সবুজ ওই গহীন বনে।
আরে ব্রো, সবসময় চিল থাকতে হবে, কিচ্ছু মাথায় নেওয়া যাবে না।
ভালোবাসা হচ্ছে একজন আরেকজনের উপর ভরসা করে, একজন আরেকজনের হাতের উপর হাত রেখে এই জীবনটা কাটিয়ে দেয়। কিছু মানুষ এই রাত জেগে থাকে আর টাকার বিনিময়ে সুখ খোঁজে। বসুন।
এখন তো সিরিয়াস হওয়া উচিত, তাই না? আমি তো কোথাও যাচ্ছি না পার্টি করতে। তুমি কেন যাচ্ছ? কেন বন্ধ করতে পারতেছো না বলো তো? কার যে কোথায় সুখ সেটা তার প্রিয় মানুষটাও কখনো জানতে পারে না।
পাশাপাশি তবু যাচ্ছি বিপরীতে, কাছাকাছি তবু যাচ্ছি বহু দূরে।
হাই, ইউ লুক গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Viên Bình bao nhiêu? 5 mở. Ủa, 50%. 35 mở. Chịu thua em rồi. Mọi ngày giữa đêm tối. Chuẩn không? Ui, ra với bia này. Độc dược à? Thôi cứ không quan trọng. Vụ nổ lớn. Bình sẽ sẵn bài tử thần mà. Để hiểu sẽ sẵn bài. Chơi chạm đất trải thải cái đường đâu mà chạm chứ. Là thế rồi. Đang xuống rồi, đang vòng xuống rồi, đang vòng xuống. Đang số thì binh sinh linh không? 3 2 1 perfect một lần này. Đấy phải kiếm 15 lần perfect không? 100 lần perfect thì ăn 6 triệu. Ơ. Nhờ 7 triệu. Mình cần 50 thôi, đã được 5 củ rồi. 7 củ là bình thường. Chuẩn rồi. Đấy á, đón thêm một nhịp. Đón thêm một nhịp là bình rồi. Để chỉnh. Ok. Không được. Mất kiếm mà. Cổ không mất áo luôn. Mất áo luôn à? Nếu còn gì? Phải lấy găng tay. Đây để thay. Rồi 1 2 lần. Thế là 30% à? Xem bao nhiêu nhá. 30% bình. Cũng gần 5 củ ấy. 40 củ à? 2 lần được 10 củ rồi. Thì áo điếc. Let's go. Let it go. Một chiếc binh chi linh không vậy. Bánh 7 láp à? 456 triệu coin để rebirth tiếp à? Sợ khó đấy. Anh cần 50 củ này, phải chừng. Ui, 40 củ tròn. Mình kiếm tiền từ điêu ấy. Một lần perfect này. Một lần perfect. Thầy lái.
দরকার পড়লে একটা রিকশাওয়ালাকে বিয়ে করবো, তারপর তোকে বিয়ে করতে
তুমি যদি মরে যাও আমি তোমাকেই বিয়ে করব।
দেখো বিয়ে এত সোজা
আমার 5টা কন্ডিশন।
কয়টা? 5টা। আমি জেডি সাফায়েত রমরাজন।
স্যার এটা তো ভোটার আইডি কার্ড স্যার।
বাড়িতেই করবেন নাকি হোটেলে?
না আপনি যেমনটা ভাবছেন বিষয়টা তা না। ভাই আপনি তো করবেন।
তোমাকে দিয়ে হবে না, আমি জানতাম। শুধু সময় নষ্ট করো না।
ভাই আপনি তো অনন্ত দলিল না যে অসম্ভবকে সম্ভব করে আপনার কাজ।
জিমি
কি হচ্ছে?
আচ্ছা
আঙ্গের একদম বইরা দিমু। যাচ্ছে সব বাইক কর।
শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে
ভাই যে বয়সে মানুষ গার্লফ্রেন্ডের কামড় খায় সে বয়সে আপনি কুত্তার কামড় খেয়ে হাসপাতালে ভর্তি হয়েছেন।
Rồi xong nhiệm vụ đây. Cút thật ra này. Thầy khóa lại. Mày nhờn. Good landing. Chuẩn không? Chuẩn không? Chuẩn và chỉ. Binh và chi. Linh và linh. Binh chi linh. Hỗ trợ để cho cút. Khảm bảo thạch à? Khổng lồ tí hoan. What the hell? Thế đi. Cứ thế đi. Ô, what the hell? Cái gì đây? Trốn đâu? Không leo lối được. Okay. Trốn bro. Không chưa có đồ rồi. Mày xin ra mà trốn đâu? Mấy chấm là xin ra 51 à? Còn 9 phút nữa thanh xong chỉ còn là đeo rồi. Bình. Mèo bay lên cao như con cao. Bay lên cao như con cao. Ui khỏe thế. Bài này khỏe đét. Chịu rồi. Tao lên cô nhảy lên nhớ em đánh. 74 máu và xin ra rồi. Sự là binh chi và linh ấy. Ô cái gì đấy? Ấn thuật sĩ à? Tam hợp là rồi. Kêu. Rồi không ai tranh bài. Hay cút. Cút ngay. Rồi xong. Thread 2 à? Asia lắp ấn định mệnh, găng tay và găng bảo thạch với cả một cái sojin là xong rồi. Giờ thêm đồ cho Sindra này. Sindra rồi. Giờ thiếu đồ Sindra mới là vấn đề chứ. Đi chợ nhà thôi, đi chợ giờ sẽ cần gì trước? Giờ mình sẽ cần một cái cung hoặc là một cái mũ phù thủy ngay lập tức. Thằng đánh bộ khởi đầu à? Cũng ghê. Mai thắng. Sau 5 giây thì mai thắng. 453 củ mà anh chưa đủ tiền, anh thiếu cận 250 củ nữa. 254 củ. Sữa đất và đồ đấy. Nhặt thêm chi chút năng lượng cho binh. Bay lên cao như con cao. Wow 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 wow. Cút rồi. Ui, Cinderella, nhưng mà lại là một cái đai máu. Rồi mất cái cung thôi, lấy Cinderella. Đây một con Cinderella thứ hai. Thôi kệ đi, bây giờ là Pandora lõi sau. Vua rồi. Chắc thế. Còn đồ cho on nhở, đéo đánh on nữa, đánh thằng Red 3 đấy. Nhưng mà on nhảy đồ. Nào kẹt thôi. Quên mất. I'm sorry bro. Là một quỷ thư. Không biết lắp lại một chứ nhỉ. Hai Cinderella. Giờ sẽ phải lên 6 đến 7 nha. Wow wow wow. Chôn không thấy. Chôn nhỉ. Chôn điết. Là ông à. Không ai được trình bài. Bình. Cái đánh thần rừng thần thoại vậy. Chôn tao. Thần tài à. Mấy thần tài cơ. Một thằng này. Một thần mà một ấn đấy mà. Mà đánh khỏe bài chôn tao. Mấy thần tài đánh bài khỏe vậy. What the hell. Không có lửa không quá. Thăng hoa chắc cút. Chịu rồi. Biết đấy biết đép mà. Kinh khủng ấy. Sắp với 35 mà vẫn còn tận 48 máu. Sự anh hay sự kinh khủng đép ấy. Có mấy vàng cho 5 vàng cũng đuổi. Rồi xong. Cái gì cơ? Cái gì cơ? Nhà thế lắp cái này cho thằng Red bình. Bình 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 sao ra rồi, thiếu 100 nữa. Cụ thể là 66 m nữa thì anh sẽ được một binh chi linh về tay. Ok thầy ơi, một binh chi linh về tay. Anh bay như một ác quỷ. Từ anh phải can xem thằng này mà em gì ở đây. What's up bro, Robocon. Cút. Mày cút. Mày đi. Đéo thắng mà. Trôn búa à? Thắng này, tưởng đéo thắng. Em xanh PP à. Cút. Rồi thắng xích 3. Và kiếm cho mình được 1 vàng. Lợi tức. Và đến giao xoáy, anh sử một ác quỷ phai anh đã quay được 260 lap rồi, giờ anh mới chạm đất lần đầu tiên. Không, lần thứ hai. Đầu tiên thì đã đép phải chỉnh. Thôi đánh xoáy cái đánh như tía thầy nhận đồ sao? Thầy sẽ chỉnh cái thằng này một chút đâu. Vào mày. Xoay lộn cho thầy. 2 lần. Thầy cua chỉnh. Cứ còng như vậy. Nhanh vậy. 3 lần. 4 lần. Một lần đầu tiên là 5. 6 lần. 6 lần. 7 lần. 7 lần à. 7 lần 70%. 70%. 136 củ khoai. Sao có 2 đồ này. Mút hết đồ tao. Ê, sao đem máu hoài vậy cụ make bro. What the hell. Cút lên một thằng ở đây. Một đai máu hoài vậy. Tỷ cái đai máu đấy. Ít nhất là 4 cái đai máu rồi. Thầy phải reverse nha. Reverse lên 6.8 mà và sẽ kiểu 800. Ui, mỗi lần reverse xong tăng 100 triệu giá. Càng mỗi reverse xong tăng 100 triệu giá thua ấy. Đừng có 5 giây chưa vậy. Rồi giờ mới được 5 giây. Sấy. Sấy đéo chết được một chết. Ai da. Kinh khủng vậy. Thôi không chơi đâu. Hay quá rồi mà. Ok. cút lên. Thôi mượn tiền này một tí. Ui ra xét rồi. Rồi xong. Easy game. Easy game, easy game. Easy game. Easy game. Easy game. Easy game. Easy game. Tiện dồn ra xét là chết 7 hả? Trồn đầu chết 7 luôn chứ. Rồi anh sẽ cộng được là 86 triệu cho bản thân của mình. Anh đã bị trừ hay sao? 100 triệu à, thiếu tận hơn 60 triệu nữa. Thực sự có đi bớt nổi không? 7 đinh mạnh rồi, bình. Mày đi 7 đinh mạnh rồi. Và có cả hiệu thần rừng anh không chơi đâu. Anh không chơi đâu. Kha. Mày cái gì đây? Bình. Ra 4 tiền gì đây không? Rồi xong thế thôi, đơn giản. Xong mấy ngày sai stress nữa xong. Rồi sai stress nữa xong thế thôi, đơn giản thôi. Cuộc sống chỉ còn thế thôi là đủ. Đầy và đủ. Một cái top 1 mới à. Wow. Xếp tiền đến 8 ấy, 70 tiền à. Mình xếp 100 tiền trước. 160 tiền ấy. Mèo ở đâu? Bên 8 là 4 mấy à? 48 à? 48 128 tiền. Từ giờ đến giao chim. Giao chim ra 1 tỷ đồ của anh vừa nốt đồ của anh, nốt đét, nốt cho mỗi 2 đồ giao xoáy chôn. Rồi perfect 1 này. Mày để anh lái. Uầy, cái thằng này nhìn đẹp đấy. Pharaoh Cast có khác. Có Pharaoh Cast binh. Không được. Không lái rồi. Anh mới phóng cho con Mustang.